This is Josiah Plays Pathfinder Kingmaker. We've just arrived back at Oleg's trading post, and I don't know what my character's doing.
Step, step, step.
And we're going to talk to everybody here again. And we are going to sell a ton of shit. You could send them your voiced playthrough and they can use that. I don't think that would be appropriate. I mean, my voiceover is fine for a stream, but it would be terrible if it was actually in the game. You want some potions? Not at the moment. A fine day to you. What brings you by? I want to see your wares, Oleg. Alright. I do like the fact that vendors don't seem to have a limited amount of gold in this. Which is nice because I hate it when vendors have a limited amount of gold. Look, I'm not interested in realism in my fantasy RPG. We're throwing fireballs around and fucking killing dragons with daggers and shit. I'm not interested in realism. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand people who want, like, extreme realism in certain aspects of a fantasy game while being willing to accept ludicrously unrealistic things in other aspects. I don't get it. It's fantasy. Of course we can carry 50 suits of armor around. Of course the vendor can pay us 1 million gold for all of our... This little, you know, like... fucking kid with a lemonade stand can buy 100 suits of armor from us. Why not? Alright. I have way more composite longbows than I need, obviously. Alright, sell this short bow. I don't know whether to sell or keep this studded leather +1. I feel like this would be good armor for Lindsay if we could ever raise her strength. Actually, I might keep that masterwork longbow. I think I'm going to sell the +1 S-Stock because I don't see anybody in my team investing a feat just to be able to use an S-Stock. I'm going to sell this too. And this. And this ring. And these books. I'm going to keep these antiquities, though. In fact, that ring's not an antiquity, right? No. Sell all this butter. Sell this chocolate. 110 gold for 2 pieces of chocolate. You can see what these people value in this world, and it's fucking food. Eggs. A whole bunch of flour. Some 40 gold for this chicken. Recipe for haggis. A hematite. Some herbs. Some questionable meat. Sell you some milk. Some mushrooms, some nuts. Some onions. A couple of pearls. Sell you a bunch of port. Sell you some delicious potatoes. Sell you a bunch of rice. Keep the rope. Keep the necklace fragments. Sell you this shell. Sell you this bell. Sell you this earring. Sell you these silver inkwells. Sell you a couple silver spoons. Sell you a silver embroidered purse. Sell you Svetlana's wedding. Hey, you know that wedding ring you got your wife? I'll give it back to you for 12 gold, bro. Sell the recipe for sweet pancakes. I'm gonna hold on to these written orders For now. Because they weigh 0 pounds. Okay. I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna keep all these scrolls for now. And potions and stuff. So now I have 3,400 gold. Woo! Why not? You sold him his potatoes. Yeah, but you can't tell one potato from another, probably. Well, Oleg might be able to, but you're gonna know the wedding ring that you got your wife. You know what I'm saying? It would just be rude. Heavy shield +1. Good armor. Ring of protection +1. Small bag of holding. I'll take it. Shield +1. I'll take it. Nope, I won't. I don't have that much money. Now I can't back out of this. Let's just get the bag of holding. Now we're carrying negative 10 pounds. Beautiful. Doesn't help our personal weight, though. Jathal's gonna need some more strength, too. Alright, I don't think there's anything new to talk to Harem about, but we'll check.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
We'll go inside and give Svetlana her ring in a second. I don't know what the big deal is about this well. Like, why do I care that their well has been renovated and cleaned? Why is that like a permanently interactable thing for me?
Trail me.
Oh yeah, Jod's here. And now Jathal's here, just weirdly standing around over here for no reason. I think in some ways it would be pretty cool to be undead. But in more ways, it would probably suck. Jathal greets you with a nod. Speak. So, what's it like to be undead? Do you wish to know what it means to me personally, or what powers and limitations it imposes? Well, do you regret not being alive anymore? A shadow passes over Jathal's face. You surely know how to ask questions. She says nothing for a long time. 2 desires led me through life. To feel pleasure time and time again, and to achieve perfection. Unlife brought me closer to the second. I am changeless, torn from time. The chaos of the world and even the soul circle have no power over me. But everything comes with a price. Most things that brought me pleasure in life are meaningless to me now. How can I decide which is better? Interesting. You become powerful. I think a bright life full of pleasures is better than unlife, even though it's eternal. Perhaps, but the choice was made for me. I have nothing left but to follow the will of the goddess. Alright, so how do healing spells and stuff work on you? Dreadfully, of course. Your healers had better stay away from me in battle. The undead are healed through interaction with negative energy, and I can perfectly manage that on my own. You don't need to sleep, right? I am spared from that bothersome need, but I hope you do not take this as a reason to invent additional responsibilities to entertain me during the night. I spend this time meditating and addressing the goddess. Seems reasonable. What about, carnal pleasures? Eyebrow waggle. A tactless and facile question. That pleasure is now as senseless to me as food or wine. Action without feeling. Jathal cringes. So that means that no, then? Alright. I think my curiosity stated about the whole undead thing. Apparently not. So tell me about this weird goddess of yours. It might sound strange, but I know less than others about Urgathoa and her faith. My transformation into her Inquisitor was unexpected, but I will answer to the best of my knowledge. Alright, we already read about Urgathoa. So, why is the cult of Urgathoa forbidden in much of Golarion? Because Golarion is plagued by narrow-minded cowards. Some tremble at the freedom granted by Urgathoa. Others fear the wrath of Pharasma and her priests. That's a big nope to being undead, then? Yeah, it is pretty much a big nope. Although, not having to sleep, not having to eat, not aging, not ever getting tired, and not being driven by any mortal urges, you could really get some shit done. I mean, your productivity would be through the fucking roof. So, what does this Urgathoa require of her followers? To enjoy, to taste exquisite dishes, to feel the lover's caress, and drink the enemy's suffering. A wonderful religious obligation, isn't it? But didn't she just say she can't do any of that? Well, maybe drink the enemy's suffering. She can do that. Does Urgathoa feud with the other gods? Not Urgathoa, but Pharasma still tries to call her to order, and Serenray to heal her. Jathal laughs at the absurdity. Serenray, known to her faithful as the Dawnflower, the Healing Light, and the Everlight. Serenray is a goddess who teaches temperance and patience in all things. Compassion and peace are her greatest virtues, and if enemies of the faith can be redeemed, they should be. Worship of this goddess of healing, honesty, redemption, and the sun began far to the east of the Inner Sea, in the vast Padishah Empire of Kelesh, but her worshippers can now be found throughout the world. So, what does it mean to be an Inquisitor of Urgathoa? This question is more complicated than it seems. An Inquisitor is by nature the most zealous defender of their faith, the hand of their goddess in mundane affairs. When I received this title and power, I expected that Urgathoa would tell me my mission, but this never happened. The goddess remains silent. There's only one reasonable explanation I can imagine. Discovering what's expected of me is a part of my mission. So I reflect on this, make my prayers, and wait for a sign. So what do you know about the goddess herself? Oh, certainly. Urgathoa was once a mortal woman, basking in life and all the pleasures it had to offer. Her passion was so strong that Urgathoa rebelled against Pharasma, against death itself and its laws. After her own death, she escaped the power of the Lady of Graves and returned to the world as a goddess, and the first undead. Since then, she has protected all who submit their souls to pleasure and passion, paying no heed to worn-out morals and the dictates of law. I like that part. Alright. Yeah, I don't want to know anything else about Urgathoa. As you wish. Conversation is truly a waste of time. So, what made you follow me? Curiosity. The need for a reliable ally. You see, I must come to understand what my goddess seeks from me. Urgathoa gave me the powers of Inquisitor without declaring her will to me. I await her reply, any hint or trace or clue, and I suppose our meeting was no mere accident. Besides, Jathal cringes. I imagine that several Kyonan assassins still pursue me. They never risked attacking me while I was under the patronage of the Aldori. They are unlikely to attack while I have reliable allies like you. Kyonan is the homeland of the elven race on Golarion. Kyonan was almost completely evacuated by the elves just before the fall of the Starstone. They only recently, by elven standards, returned to Golarion to reclaim their ancient homeland and have become an isolationist realm, allowing few non-elven visitors into their mist-shrouded capital, Yadara. But why did these assassins follow you? I don't know. They can't have been sent by the Queen. I am branded outlaw, but my punishment was exile, and it is not custom for elves to contravene their own verdicts. My attackers shouted something about threat and blood. I suppose they are a splinter group of feeble-minded zealots, or someone on a quest for personal revenge. I want to hear your story. Stories. Jathal shrugs. Stories are boring and a waste of time. I have killed. I was exiled from Kyonan. I died. I was raised by Urgathoa's gift. That is my story. Okay, yeah, but who were you before your exile? It's rather amusing. I belonged to a wealthy family, and held high position on the courts of Yadara, the capital of Kyonan. When my little wrongdoings were revealed, the trial was held in the very same court where I tried cases and delivered sentences. Over several hundred years. An awkward situation, don't you think? So, who did you kill and why? Family. 4. Ethel's voice is calm and ordinary, as if she's speaking of something trivial. Hashtag adjudicated. But why is the more interesting question. What is the worth of 1,000 years if you cannot enjoy it like your first 10 dozen springs? Ah, yes, youth. The first 10 dozen springs. The elf's voice sounds unusually vehement. Everyone considers elves ever young, but our youthfulness is but a mask, a threadbare ritual gown. What lies underneath? The dust of years and jaded repetition. With each year, the dust grows thicker, and erstwhile joys cease to excite, and cloy as a dish you've tasted 1,000 times. I still like a lot of things that I've tasted 1,000 times. Long did I search for a way to avert this fate. Don't I, who has truly tasted life, deserve a better lot than those benumbed old elves who closed themselves to the world? And I found a way in the ancient texts of Urgathoa, a ritual involving the blood of my kin, a trifle that would make each day feel as a holiday created specially for me. 1,000 pizzas have been ordered, and 1,000 more will be claimed. That's right, Splode. The ritual gave strength not only to my body, but to my mind and my soul. And my mind whirled at every sensation, each sip of wine or silken caress. Oh, how I miss this. My cousin was the first I used for the ritual. It was a simple matter to pass her death as an unfortunate accident. But the enchantment would not last. I had to find another, and again conceal my trail. With the third death, my family grew suspicious, and upon the fourth, my deeds were finally revealed. Such a pity. If not for this, my unlife even now would overflow with burning pleasure, for I have dozens of useless relatives. But she's pretty fucking solidly evil. It's not like she became evil because she became undead. She chose to be evil as fuck before she became undead. I'm not one to judge you for your past deeds. Fair. Judge me for my present form, and better yet, for the benefits we can provide each other. Well, do you have any family left in Kyonin? Anyone, that you care about? Do you mean someone I would hesitate to sacrifice? Perhaps my daughter? I would regret the wasted effort. The creature turned out quite well. Like a properly trained dog, or a well-managed horse. Wow! That's some motherly love right there. Mom of the year right here. Undeath probably moved her into neutral from chaotic. I probably won't sacrifice my daughter. I guess she's pretty much like a drow elf, basically, in terms of morality. So, your only punishment for murder is exile, huh? For an elf, Jaethal says pointedly, exile is a serious punishment. There is no other Kyonin in this world. Even I, who despises its hypocrisy, must admit as much. So how'd you die? And what happened after that? Jaethal frowns. I don't remember my death. I was stunned by the sentence of exile, and I admit I showed weakness. I wandered aimless, absorbed in despair, without concern for my safety or sustenance. And then, I remember desolate rocks, a stone I lay upon, a convulsion, passing not only through my whole body but through my soul. Then I awakened, cold, calm, my body overwhelmed with strength, but haunted by a strange internal silence. Maybe she killed herself. There were bloody prints of bone feet on the stone next to me, the sign of the goddess. A battle scythe lay nearby. That was the first and last time I heard Urgathoa's voice. She spoke but 3 words. Hail the Inquisitor. That is all. She has neither addressed me nor answered my pleas ever since. I will not bother you with the story of how I tried to comprehend my new condition. Soon I had a chance to put my new powers to the test. A group of my kin had tracked me through the woods. They were insolent and would pay dearly for this. But I had to reckon how I might free myself from their persistent chase. A powerful predator from among the short-lived could help me, and the Sword Lord seemed suitable. That is all. She seems trustworthy, right? I mean, this is somebody who would never betray us under any circumstances. So what else can you tell me about the place you were born? I hope you do not ask from idle curiosity. Kyonin is the birthplace of the elves. The other races are allowed to visit within reasonable limits. Usually only as far as Greengold. That is the enclave for half-breeds and the short-lived. A whim of our queen. I enjoyed going there sometimes, as to a wild beast show. Them half-elves, it's basically a zoo. Oh. I enjoyed going there sometimes, as to a wild beast show. Beyond this caricature of a city, Kyonin is a mixture of grandeur and the sad remains of ancient glory. The port city of Greengold is the second largest settlement in Kyonin, and the only official entry point into the Elven Kingdom for non-elves. Situated on Lake Incarthen, it is a popular port of call for traders and diplomats. Greengold generally appears as any other human dockside settlement, except that trees grow in strange places throughout, and the yellow roofs on all the buildings make the city quite distinct. Next to today's graceful dwellings lie the ruins of ancient monuments and fountains. Elves prefer to live in small groups, in secluded settlements. The most outgoing and ambitious live in the capital, Yadara. Daily life is filled with the efforts of 100-year-old infants seeking worthy goals, and 1,000-year-old stony cynics entertaining themselves howsoever they can. That is all. It's scarcely worth mentioning that even this gloom is far more tempting than anything one finds in the lands of the short-lived. Right. Okay. Well, we know who the racist in the party is. Yeah, I think I've heard enough. As you wish. It was, really great talking to you. Bye. Start the job.
How may I serve you?
Oh, now he has a voice. God nods warmly. Well, maybe I need the help of a cleric. Oh. Oh. Scrolls of Cure Light Wounds are super cheap. Scroll of Death Ward. Delay Poison. Cleanse. Cleanse is nice. Immuno Delay Poison. Protection Scrolls. Restoration. Diamonds. Diamond dust. Mask your light wounds. Gongar, scimitar, and a chain shirt. Gathol could have a couple more of these on tap.
How may I serve you?
So you said you had some visions leading to the temple?
That's why I'm here.
Well, why do you need to find this temple?
What is there to understand? The gods do not send us visions for no reason. We must go to the temple. Then I believe we shall discover the true meaning and wisdom of Erastil's will.
God folds his arms over his chest. But what do you want from me?
Find the Temple of the Elk. I've pieced together its location from what I can remember of my visions. I have a rough idea of where to look for the sanctuary, somewhere in the North Nile marshes. However, I don't possess the strength to walk this path myself. Do not reject my plea, good traveler, and I'll repay you as best I can. In these dark times, people rarely help each other without compensation. May Erastil forgive us all. But I am sure my healing abilities will be useful to you.
Maybe. God frowns.
How may I serve you?
Alright, tell me about this stag god of yours.
Of course. It would be my pleasure. Erastil is one of the eldest gods of Golarion. His faith emerged when the first people appeared upon the land. Erastil helped our ancestors cultivate the land and hunt. Even now, his blessing lies with those who uphold the old traditions and keep to simpler ways, far from civilization and the noise of the city.
God's smile widens. Yeah, but cities are good too, right? I mean, I like cities. You got the science, trade, invention, All that stuff.
Tell that to the peasant robbed of all he owns, spending his night in the gutter, hoping to live to see the sunrise. You won't see such things in a village.
God mournfully shakes his head. Unless it's the god of pointless visions. Yeah, like Wall from Pillars of Eternity. Well, I don't share your opinion. My capital's not going to be a village. It's going to be a huge city. It's going to be as big as Absalom.
As you wish. Still, lend your ear to this old man's words. Don't brush away the wisdom of ages past. I came here to spread the kindness of simple village life, which is often lost and forgotten in the noise of an indifferent city.
John looks saddened. Alright. Number 4 is amazing! We'll get to it. Alright, so what does Erastil expect from you?
The word demand does not befit the stag god. Honesty and friendship, loving families, merry weddings, and newborn children in their mother's arms, they bring a smile to Erastil's face. He loves his people and rewards them with fortunate hunts and plentiful harvests. But he has no temper for sloth and vanity. He never bestows gifts upon his faithful without first measuring their worthiness. We ourselves must win our daily bread, but the stag god comes to our aid in times of need and strife.
I see. Yeah. You know, I've always thought that Erastil was kind of a useless god, but you confirmed it for me. Thanks.
Alas, I must truly be an inept servant, for I have failed once more to convey the wisdom of Erastil. I only hope that someday in the future you will allow me the chance to change your mind.
Jod sorrowfully shakes his head. Whatever. Let me ask you something else.
I am happy to help.
Alright, tell me more about yourself, I guess.
What exactly would you like to know?
Well, what's Galt like?
For some, it is a land of freedom, where power belongs to the people, not to lords or kings. For others, it's a land of never-ending revolution, a realm surrendered to anarchy. It depends on who you ask.
Anarchy's cool.
For me, I found Galt a violent place. Crowds eager to lynch a stranger for that accent or appearance, where a single word uttered at the wrong time or place can spark the people to riot and cities to burn.
Alright, that sounds kind of obnoxious.
For me, it is a place inhabited by the frightened and the desperate, always suspicious, watchful of trickery. All too often they are deaf to the voice of reason. They cannot grasp that chaos and lawlessness lead only to yet more chaos and lawlessness. All my life I've tried to break through to these poor people, but alas, I don't seem to have made much progress.
Jod is visibly upset and grows silent for a while. Alright. What about your past?
My story? Why not? You deserve to know it. I am a priest of Erastil, and Galt is my homeland. You can imagine what it's like following the teachings of the stag god in a realm torn by discord and strife.
Not really. I can't imagine that at all.
Rebellion and suspicion are the pillars of Galt. Led by Erastil, I tried to guide my flock to embrace tranquility and balance, and guard them from hasty judgment, until I fell from grace myself. Foolish, foolish old Jod.
Oh god, here we go. Gotta keep Jod away from the little boys.
My misdeeds cast a shadow over my life and service. In search of redemption and a balm for my soul, I took to the road. I had come nearly to despair when Erastil sent me a vision of the Temple of the Elk. I knew that very moment that the stag god had shown me the way to redemption.
Maybe he just wants you to go there and get killed. Alright, how did you fuck up?
Well, if you truly wish to know, I'll have to start from the long time back. Werewolves preyed upon the lands around my village. They murdered people for fun or sport and left the corpses to rot on the roads. One night, they broke into a young woman's house and dragged her into the streets.
Hashtag blame werewolves. Why werewolves always getting blamed for everything? God lets out a deep sigh.
One evening, a traveler came to our tavern, tattered and dirty from days on the road, like so many others roaming Gault. He sat quietly in the corner of the tavern, drinking cheap ale, and in an instant, I knew he was a werewolf. I felt it in my soul. It was like Erastil himself had whispered it into my ear.
Nope. See, this is the danger of certainty. This is why religious fanatics are so fucking creepy. Alright, I'm gonna tell you how this is gonna go. Actually, I don't know how this is gonna go. But I suspect it's gonna be something like he fucking killed the werewolf, and then oops, turned out it wasn't actually a werewolf.
Led by Providence, I left to gather my flock, and we surrounded the tavern. The retribution was swift. However, I was tragically mistaken. The young man was no werewolf. He was a bandit, sent to spy on the village by one of the local gangs. We only found out after, when we went through his things.
Jod clearly has no wish to go into detail. Good job, Jod. Well, I guess you did kind of protect the village from some kind of danger.
That's still no excuse for my actions. I was a fool. I made a grave mistake. And what's worse, in the eyes of my flock, I cast doubt on Erastil's greatness. A priest who can barely hear the voice of his god is a disgrace to his lord and himself, and corrupts the very people he would save.
You are kind of a disgrace. Look, you only get to make that mistake once. When you're running around talking about, my God told me this, I am certain my God told me this, as soon as you fuck that up once, your credibility is gone forever. No one's ever going to listen to you say, my God told me this, after you've already been wrong once, after saying your God told you something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a mistake you only get to make one time. You're a garbage priest.
Whatever the case, I knew Erastil was no longer pleased with me. It was terrifying.
Jod's voice wavers. Even now, one can glimpse inside him the remnants of the horror he lived through.
Imagine how my mind raced when here in the Stolen Lands I heard the voice of the stag god once again.
Christ,
he gave
sure
me another chance at service to atone for my guilt. Now I have regained hope, and that very hope is my most precious possession.
I don't trust this guy at all. Dude, you didn't hear the voice of shit, bro. You imagined that shit because you were desperate for something. Look, I'm gonna ask Erastil, and he's gonna be like, Jod who? I don't even know that guy. Yeah. Alright. I'm done.
As you wish.
Bye.
Step.
Redneck God probably talks with almost unintelligible accent. That's a good point. We're gonna talk? Amiri utters a weary sigh. Alright, spill it. I'm listening. Why do you want to kill this Tusk-Gutter so much? He's a monster. We kill monsters. What here is so difficult to understand? Alright. Talk to you later. Into the house we go. Alright, Svetlana, I got your ring. Unfortunately, I murdered your sister. Svetlana greets you warmly. Good day to you. Do you need anything? I'd be happy to help. I found your ring, Svetlana. Kressel, a bandit lady. She tried to kill me and, well, she died. Yeah, sorry. Svetlana sighs bitterly. I suppose I should tell you the truth about her. Kressel wasn't her real name. Her real name was Irena before all this. She was the daughter of my mother and her second husband, my half-sister. I can't help but feel like everything that happened to her was my fault. She always had a wildness to her. She'd wander the streets, hanging out with a bad crowd, until the day she passed. Mother complained about Irena constantly. Back then it was just cruel games and strange escapades. She never really hurt anyone back in Rostov. Her father didn't live much longer than our mother, so I decided to try to help Irena. I brought her here to the Stolen Lands, though Oleg was against it. And once here, she immediately fell under the Stag Lord's influence. She never even needed to meet him. The stories and rumors from local hunters and bandits were enough to win her over. She would tell us how he was a real leader, unlike Rostov's softies. Eventually she ran away, only to return under a new name with a pack of thugs to collect taxes from us. What's worse, she participated in the torture and execution of prisoners alongside the Stag Lord's minions. And now, meeting such an end, I realize you did what you had to. Perhaps it's all for the best. But still, I wonder if everything could have turned out differently. Svetlana lifts her head. Thank you for returning my ring to me. I truly appreciate it. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'd like to be alone for a little while. She gave me 10 rations. Alright. We can cross this task off our list. Just like we crossed Kressel off. The list of people who are alive. I need some time alone. Sorry. Lindsay. Just a moment. I just got something. Lindsay quickly scribbles something in her notebook, then raises her eyes and smiles at you. Hi! That's all, Lindsay. Yeah, just saying hi. Bye. Alright, we've read that before. 10 rations is definitely better than 12 gold from Oleg. Yeah, 10 rations, thanks. Now we're gonna have to fucking carry those heavy-ass rations. 100 pounds?! Christ! What the fuck are we eating? Our rations is just nothing but massive jugs of milk. That's it. We just drink milk, that's all. The fuck are we eating? 100 pounds. There's Octavian Rakongar. Alright, I'm gonna talk to Rakongar first.
Need to catch my breath.
I know you're tired, I get it. We're gonna all sleep in the big bed together in a minute. Wait, I can't talk to them? Oh, I can.
What do you want? Have a little chat? Alright. It's not like we have anything better to do.
So, tell me about yourself.
What is there to know? I was born. I'm alive. Haven't died yet. That enough for you?
Okay, Amiri Part 2. Well, do you remember your childhood? Ragongar scowls.
What a crap question. I was just a kid when they sold me. Before that, I don't remember much. Smoky fires, stinky hides, always bumping along on a horse. I think I was born in one of the Kellid tribes of Numeria. There are many. Some survive on their own, some give up their pride and serve the Technic League. I guess mine was one of the cowards, if they sold their own kids. I remember my father's hands. Rough, scarred, white. So I guess I get this green skin from my mother. But I don't remember her. I think I remember playing with another half-orc child. A brother, maybe. For some reason they didn't sell him, just me. Father gave him his dagger to play with, never gave it to me. Ugh, I don't want to remember. Forget all this, I'm an orphan.
Ragongar waves his hand wryly. He's got a big chip on his shoulder. He's had a rough life.
I grew up a slave. That I remember well. So many things burned into my memory. Most of all, I remember her. My Octavia. Today, we're almost the same age. But back then, she was twice as young as me. Just a child.
Alright, well, now you're making it sound creepy.
But a brave one. Cunning. Bold. And beautiful. The most beautiful girl in the world.
Okay. Pedo Ragongar. She was just a kid, but man was she hot. So, do you worship one of these fucking gods, or what?
Ha! I never got much help from the gods so far. But if you'd make me choose, I'd say Callistria.
Yeah, Callistria sounds like the most fun god.
Who else could I worship? The Savored Sting. The goddess of pleasure, fun, and revenge. Oh, yes.
So, where'd you get your magical powers?
What magical powers? The hells are you talking about? Oh, you mean these?
Ragongar makes lightning run over his hands with a contented smile, then snaps his fingers, invoking a shower of blinding sparks. Alright, calm your shit, Chris Angel.
I've had them since I was born. At least one thing I can thank my scum parents for. Maybe these powers are why they sold me to slavery. Think they were scared? Who knows? Damn Numerians. At the Technic League, they drew my blood, did experiments, burned me with fire, tortured me with cold, electricity, and they told me, you won't believe it, they told me I have blue dragon blood in my veins. Not bad, huh? I'm a dragon, you freaks. Come check my blood if you dare.
Grinning, Ragongar strikes his palm with a fist, and another fountain of electric sparks shoots upwards. I'm a dragon, motherfuckers! So, what about those tattoos? What are they all about?
They're magical. They help me control my powers. The Technic League gave them to me. I'd hoped that somewhere in my body there was at least one sign left by my tribe. But no, I guess they didn't care to bother. To hell with them! They better hope I never find them. If I ever meet my father, I will even the score between us. You didn't ever give me a knife, motherfucker! Die! Zap, zap, zap!
That's how that scene will go. Well, how do you use a sword and magic and not, like, cut off your fingers?
Ha ha ha! It's simple. I'm just that bloody good.
The half-orc gives a contented grin. Do you like making people suffer?
Why should I care about their suffering? I do what I want. If I step on someone's toes, then they shouldn't have put themselves in my way. But chasing someone down just to torture them? That's only entertainment for maniacs like the Technic League. Well, on second lot. For them, I would make an exception. I'd love to watch as I fry them nice and slow.
That does sound pretty entertaining.
But why do you ask? Do my methods shock you?
Ragongar clenches his fist, buzzing with sparks, and laughs loudly at his joke. Okay, we just figured out that Ragongar is Nox. Do my methods shock you? Motherfucker. You're no more than a common felon. Hey now! What do you mean no more than a common felon? Felons are great. I don't like meaningless atrocities. Listen, I prefer any atrocities to be meaningful. Hashtag meaningful atrocities. Like, we're gonna have some atrocities, don't get me wrong. There will be atrocities, but these atrocities are gonna be really meaningful. Like, oh, I had a good reason for these war crimes. Treat your enemies like that? What makes you any better than them?
And why would you think I want to be better? What does that even mean? I have no delusions of purity. I don't need to prove myself or my enemies that I'm better than them. Morally, spiritually, whatever. I just want them rotting in the ground so I can live, drink wine, and piss on their graves.
Alright. Thanks.
Thanks don't fill a purse. I'm just kidding.
So, what was your life in Numeria like?
You mean my life as a slave? I didn't see much except for the slave barracks and the League's twisted laboratories.
So slavery is legal in Numeria, huh?
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. There are some laws against it, but even in Starfall, a third of the people live in bondage. And that's the capital! In regions where the Black Sovereign's hand doesn't reach, they hold to tribal customs instead of laws. The Barbarians don't keep slaves. Instead they have thralls. Big bloody difference.
Starfall is a city, just as brutal and as harsh as the unforgiving Numenarian... I always want to say Numenaria. Numerian land that it is capital of. The place is a mockery of the soft capitals of the south, with a level of decadence which would put even Taldor to shame. This decadence is surrounded by the filthy reek of human misery. Here, the Black Sovereign, Kavoth Kul, rules at the whim of the Technic League, where the rest of the city suffers under his harsh rule. Huh. Sounds like a nice place.
And on top of all that mess, there's the Technic League. Law and custom mean nothing to those slime balls. They just take whatever and whoever they want.
So, how'd you become a slave?
I was sold by my own tribe when I was just a little brat.
The half-orc clenches his teeth, then spits on the ground and steps on it with his boot.
So I grew up in a slave barracks. I was raised to be sold like a battle animal. They tried to break me, but they picked the wrong brat. No matter how much you beat this animal, he only gets angrier.
The half-orc punches himself in the chest and snarls. Why'd they teach you magic if you're such a pain in the ass?
Can't you guess? Because magic is in my blood. It's why they bought me. I wasn't raised as some lowly mop slave, but as a murder machine.
Hashtag murder machine.
I'd fetch quite a nice sum of gold. You might also ask if they knew I'd take the first opportunity to rip their own guts out, using everything they taught me. Ha! Of course they did! But that's the Technic League. They calculate risk. Octavia kept pretending to be simple-minded, so they wouldn't expect anything of her. But I made every effort, though they didn't teach me much. What is there to teach? It's not book magic, it's innate. They made me practice with my sword more. But I did my best in everything. I studied all I could. They knew they were raising an enemy, but they thought they could keep me on a short leash. Or sell me to someone with deep pockets, so I'd become someone else's problem. But who won in the end, huh? Who is free? Who will bury them all?
I'm guessing you. The half-orc makes an obscene gesture in the northwestern direction, toward Numeria. What else did you see? Beyond your life in chains?
What could I have seen? Well, when we ran, we went through Starfall. That's a fine city. Big, loud, many merchants, things to see, things to steal. But I didn't have much chance to walk around. It's the very nest of the sodding Technic League. We were focused more on getting out alive.
Ragongar for president, says Splode.
We met some barbarians. I asked them who might know what tribe I'm from, but they didn't know anything. I don't have any tribal tattoos. Nothing. Actually, they're all right. Well, some of them. The Bloodgars, for one. They're great. All the rivers are theirs. We sailed with them during one of our escapes, almost all the way to Brevoy, and they didn't turn us in. But the White Scars got us after that. Those guys are shit! They've sold their pride to the Technic League.
Fuck those White Scars.
Oh, one more thing. One time Octavia and I tried to escape, and stumbled across a Numerian monster. I'll never forget it. A huge spider, the size of a house, made of metal, spitting fire, shooting deadly rays all around. That thing could probably tear even a dragon to pieces. Ruined our escape plans, too. We had to go back.
Oh, good. We're gonna have to fight that thing later. So you and Octavia tried to escape.
What do you think? Of course we tried! I stopped counting how many times. Jumped from windows, dug tunnels, choked out guards, or seduced them. That happened too. But those dirtbags caught us every time. Every bloody time. My back is covered with whip scars. Luckily, we were prized property. They'd spent too much gold on us to kill us. Anyone else would be hung and forgotten. But they kept trying to break us and recoup their expenses. I don't know whether I could have survived by sheer stubbornness if it weren't for Octavia. I probably couldn't have. I would have just given up and died. But I had to pull my girl out of that meat grinder. And she believed in me and had enough hope for both of us. When I lay there with my back slashed to pieces, she whispered to me about the River Kingdoms, where there's no slavery, where everyone can go wherever they want and take whatever they want.
They fell for sunk cost fallacy. So true, Askel.
I'll be damned, but I thought she was just making this up to keep our hopes alive. And now it turns out to be true. All of it, every last word. No chains, no slaves, no laws. Just live and be happy.
Well, there's probably going to be laws. I'm just letting you know. Like no gnomes. Gnomes will be against the law. And also half-orcs. No, just kidding. Well, thanks for telling me all this.
Ask away.
So what's the deal with you and Octavia? I mean, what's your relationship like? Seems kind of complicated.
Well, my Octavia and I don't have a relationship. We have a life together.
Why do you call her yours? She doesn't seem to like that very much.
My girl loves freedom so much, and even a slight chance of losing it frightens her. She's so smart. You really think she feels like I'm trying to make her mine? Like an apple stolen at a market? Me, who was skinned alive for trying to help her escape?
Yes?
She's afraid of the word my. It's because she doesn't understand the difference between my boots and my heart. But she will understand, sooner or later.
I mean, ultimately, there kind of is no difference. So, how'd you meet? No.
Back when we were children, we were taken as apprentices by a great spellmaster, Janusz. Maestro Janusz, he called himself. He was our teacher. Well, he made Octavia read books and memorize spells. I have my own innate magic. He trained me a bit, taught me how to control my gifts so I wouldn't lose control and incinerate myself like a dumbass. Oh, teacher, we will meet again. There's one more test I must pass. But you were asking about my Octavia. We've been together all our lives. We've learned everything together. How to weave magic and how to survive. And as we grew older, we learned how to love. Without each other, we would never have gotten out of there, that's for sure. We would have given up and surrendered to death. But together, that's a very different story. Not the first time, and not the 10th, but eventually we made it out.
You really only made it out because I showed up and saved you. Don't take too much credit. So are you faithful to each other?
Octavia and I are connected, and this connection cannot be broken. We grew into each other, you know? Jealousy is for weak cowards who don't trust each other and are scared of being tricked. If a knight on the side threatens your love, then that just means there was no real love there to begin with.
Right, so open relationship. What's up, Chimerical Jim? Haven't seen you in a bit. Good to see you. How you doing? He does seem like a fine, upstanding fellow.
She and I are together, to the end, and we will never part from each other. So when she likes some lad or some lass, it's no drama to me. I just ask her whether she wants me to leave them alone or join in. And she does the same, haha! What, are you judging us? Or maybe you just want to join us in our tent, hmm?
The half-orc grins. What? To me, love is impossible without faithfulness. Is that an invitation? Well, then maybe I will. I'm good, thanks. I hope you are as well. I think my character's sort of unhinged and random and chaotic enough that she'd go with number one. Is that an invitation? Well then, maybe I will.
Is that so?
Ragongar measures you with an openly lustful look.
I will, think about it.
Well, thanks for talking to me.
Don't mention it.
I'm gonna go now. Bye.
So long. If you want to know anything else, just ask. Don't be shy. Just don't go pale when I answer.
I'm good too. Jam, thanks. Emotional connection and some like alien emotes or something. I DK. I'll tell you.
Need to catch my breath.
I know you're tired. Hello! Octavia smiles at you flirtatiously. Got any good news? I don't need you any longer. Go away. I just have to ask. How do you manage to look so gorgeous, even when we're out in the middle of nowhere? Oh, so you've noticed. Octavia smiles slyly. My appearance is the result of daily effort, and it's not easy. Do you know how much time it takes to create good makeup, or to mend a dress, even with the help of magic? Well, I mean, honestly, if you have the mending spell, it doesn't take that long. It's a cantrip. I mean, come on. So if someday you wake up early, an hour before dawn or so, you can actually check on me. You'll see how I prepare myself for a new day. I ain't trying to wake up early. That's not my gig. What? No, number 1 is too much. It's too much. You sure put a lot of effort into this. But the results do make it worthwhile. You bet. You know, I like to feel attractive, even while we're on the march. Octavia flashes a teasing smile at you. It feels so good to be a beauty in a group of barely washed and extremely reckless young gentlemen. You're my thorns, and I'm your rose. Octavia giggles. Did you just call me a gentleman? Pretty amazing how, after all your hardships, you still remain so cheerful and optimistic. Octavia's smile fades a little. I try not to view my life as a never-ending course of sufferings. Yes, I've had my share of hard times, but do I need to recall them? After all, along with the bad things, I had some good things as well. I had a dream, and I followed it, and eventually it came true. Following that path, I met Reg and you. Now I'm free and surrounded by friends. Well, let's not jump to the word friends just yet. We all pretty much just met. Acquaintances at this point. I didn't see any makeup check in the rest management screen. That's your special camp ability. Apply makeup. Pathfinder threesome simulator? Apparently. Octavia's voice trembles with hidden emotions, but her smile remains warm and sincere. You worship Calistria, right? Yes, many slaves survived only thanks to their faith. Some lived hoping for a day when a good deity would deliver them. Some even offered deals to the evil gods. But me and Reg, Calistria has taught us the most important things. Expect no gifts from above. Rely only on ourselves. Never forgive those who wronged us. But at the same time, savor every droplet of pleasure we could squeeze from our bleak days. So, what were you like as a kid? Octavia sighs. Too little. Some scraps of memories, no more than that. Well, what do you remember? Octavia reflects on that, tapping her finger against her cheek. The game called my male protagonist Baroness at some point. There's space to patch. Ah, yes. These little things will be fixed, I'm sure, in time. Nothing special. Some images of a faraway past, that's all. I guess it's better than Insomnia, which is just released, and some parts of the game in the English version are still in Russian. Like, we'll translate part of the game. We can't be bothered to translate all of it. I mean, who does that? Some images of a faraway past, that's all. I do remember wooden table legs. The paint on them was peeling off, and I was standing on my toes, trying to peek at what was on the table. I remember the wild rose by the window. It kept me up at night, scratching the glass with its gnarled branchlets. I do remember my mother's blue dress. It was a trifle battered, but it smelled of lavender. Octavia wrinkles her forehead. I guess that's all. Not much there, right? All those memories. It's like they're not mine at all. I recall some images, and I know I should feel something about them, but I don't remember what exactly I should feel. So let them rot in a swamp with tatzelworms. Octavia grins cheerfully. My life's good enough without them. I think she's putting on a front of this cheerfulness. I don't buy it. So, you don't know anything about your parents? You're a half-elf, right? So that means that, fucking... that means that, what's her name? Jathal perceives you as though she's watching a wild beast show. Am I? Octavia examines herself, as if seeing herself for the first time. You know, I think you might be right. I'm rather slim and tall, and I can see well in dim light. She raises her hands and touches her ears. Ah, they're a bit pointy. Yes, I'm definitely a half-elf. Let's think about that logically. So my mother was an elf, and my father was a human. Or maybe it was the other way around, and my mother was a... Finally, Octavia can't take it anymore, and bursts into laughter, having spoiled her own act. So that's it. Now you know as much about my parents as I do, she says after her laughter subsides. Well, do you remember how you were enslaved? I clearly remember the man who took me away from my home. He was big, with a huge potbelly and shaggy beard. I was afraid he would eat me. Octavia shrugs. Anyway, he didn't stay with me long. He gave me to his slaver accomplices, and I never saw him again. If she has a child with Ragongar, it could be entirely human or an orc elf. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. A quarter elf, quarter orc, half human? When my mother was giving me to him, she was crying. I can still barely hear her quiet voice, but I can't recall her words or her face behind the tears. Just that lavender spell. It tickled my nose and I wanted to sneeze. Oh yeah, and he's like 1/16th dragon. Did my mother sell me into slavery? But then why was she crying? And if she didn't want me to be a slave, why didn't she try to save me? Octavia twirls her hair, pondering over the thought, then sighs. One more riddle from my past that I don't care to solve. If it's like D&D, half-elf is anything that's not 100% elf. Right. Well, it must be pretty horrible, not being able to recall your childhood. Oh, I recall my childhood in rather bright details. It was spent in dirty barracks. I wore flea-infested rags and slept on a straw mattress instead of a proper bed. Octavia smiles humorlessly, though I understand what you mean. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to remember my childhood before slavery. If I could remember what I lost, it would probably just bring me more pain. Octavia shakes her head several times and makes herself smile again. So it's good that I don't remember much of anything. Yeah, Octavia and Ragongar are some deeply broken people. Let me ask you about something else. Of course. What do you want to talk about? Well, I want to know more about your life in slavery. I don't like to recall it, but if you insist... Octavia frowns. The slavers from the Technic League tried to ruin my life, but all they could do was ruin my childhood. How'd you end up in the Stolen Lands? My enslavers from the Technic League funded a large expedition into the Stolen Lands. 100 agents, tens of slaves, wagons. We were to search for some ancient artifacts or ancient ruins. Octavia shrugs. Uh-oh. So that means there's a fuckload more Technic League people around here that are going to harass us. Our group never made it to the Technic League hideout. Along the way, it was attacked by the future owner of the Stolen Lands herself, and I'll be forever grateful to her for it. Octavia winks cheerfully. Oh, so I'm not a gentleman now? What's up, Frothy? Welcome. How you doing? So, did you have a lot of masters over the years? Yes, many of them. Some owned me for years. Others felt they'd had enough of me in a couple of months. That doesn't speak well. Like, we're sick of her. Trust me, I did all I could to make every master eager to get rid of me. A slave that's trained in magic is a rather expensive thing, so they wouldn't kill me. At least that was the hope. So I drooled and played an idiot, and I listened as every new master argued with my former one, trying to return me. I want my money back. I'm trying to refund this slave on Steam. Sometimes I punctured the pages of magic books I was forced to copy with a quill. Other times I pretended to mix up the spells, so instead of lighting a magic torch, I set dozens of dancing lights floating just below the ceiling. Of course, most of these tricks of mine usually ended badly. I got punished on a regular basis. My back still remembers the master's whips, though all my scars from those times are long gone. So, did your masters ever hurt you? You figured that out, didn't you? Octavia narrows her eyes. Or maybe you want to hear all about the beatings I survived, the humiliations I've endured. Imagine the worst thing one person can do to another, and multiply it tenfold. That's what happened to me nearly every day in slavery. Ah, poor Octavia. They made her drink Cola O every day. Masters. Oh, how I hate that word! Octavia shakes her head furiously, making her locks dance. They punished me because they wanted to hurt me, but what hurt even more was the mere fact of their existence. Yeah, see, she's not so happy deep down. 10 Cola O's. No! I'd be like, no, please whip me. They made her being nice to gnomes. That's even worse! It's even worse. So, how'd you learn to use magic? Oh, I was taught magic by Janusz of Starfall, one of the most famous wizards in Numeria. Maestro Janusz, as he insisted on calling himself. Octavia's voice overflows with contemptuous sarcasm. Anyone would be happy to learn from such a great master, and only a talentless bitch like me would dare to reject his teachings and indulge in her laziness. At least that's what Maestro Janusz used to repeat constantly, while whipping knowledge into my back. The great Maestro was a big fan of punishment. Octavia's lips press into a thin line. The Technic League didn't care if a few slaves died under the Master's whip, as long as Maestro Janusz provided an arcane-trained one in return. Officially, there's no slavery in Numeria, but the Technic League is above any law. A slave with an aptitude for the arcane is worth much more than a regular one. The slave's repertoire is limited to the simplest and safest spells, of course, but they didn't teach her mending. Hashtag teach your slaves mending. So, you ever try to get away? What a silly question! Of course I tried. As soon as we saw even the tiniest opportunity to get free, Reg and I grabbed for it. On one occasion, we jumped from the cart into the river. There was a time when we spent weeks trying to dismantle the far wall of the barracks and made a path out. Sometimes we attacked our guards when they least expected it. We craved freedom. We lived only to dream about it. Those short days, sometimes weeks, that we spent on the run were the happiest days of my life. We used to hide in the woods, or blend in with the crowd on the streets of Starfall. Midnight stars were our guiding lights, and we shared our dream with them, to reach the river kingdoms, for in these lands there were neither slaves nor masters. We were starving and freezing, but that was the real life. Too bad it usually ended too soon. The Technic League agents always found us in the end. I don't know how they managed to do it. They probably used magic, or maybe it was just our fate. They whipped us and returned us to our old masters, or sold us to new ones, if the old ones refused to pay. So we were slaves again, but the dream about the river kingdoms never left our hearts. I wonder why they've taught her Snowball. Ice frustums for beverages? She had to chill some drinks. How she talks about Red compared to how he talks about her feels bad, man. Yeah. Alright, well, let's talk about something else, okay? Octavia stops you, gently touching your hand. Wait, I want to tell you. She sighs and shakes her head as if trying to collect her thoughts.
The Technic League agents you rescued us from. Reg and I tried to run away many times, but they always managed to find us eventually. I have no reason to hope that this time they've lost track of us for good.
I never throw away valuable resources. They won't get you. Look, you're my slaves now. I mean, companions, quote-unquote. But really slaves. But I mean companions. No, Oh, I won't let those filthy slave traders take you again. Just let them try.
Yes, we'll chase them to the border. We won't see them through the dust.
Suddenly she frowns in contemplation, twirling her locks.
Still, I'd like to find them first.
Why do you need to find them?
I broke free from slavery. Thanks to you, I've obtained everything I dreamed of. My freedom and the opportunity to control my own life. I want to use this opportunity to fight the Technic League. At least the part of it that operates here in the Stolen Lands. I wish to free all the slaves from the Technic League masters.
Octavia gives you a warm smile and gently touches your hand.
I do believe that while we're together, we can achieve a lot. Even this.
I don't need you any longer. Go away. Timing. After asking her all the questions, then you say that to her. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop returning your texts now.
So, tell me about your relationship with Ragongar.
Octavia shrugs awkwardly.
We're together,
she answers simply. Uh-oh.
The way you said, we're together, sounded inconvincing. Unconvincing, even.
Something wrong?
You've noticed? Well, I didn't mean that. Now I'll have to explain.
Octavia shakes her head.
Not sure I know how to put it correctly. You see, Reg seems to treat me like his property. He's always kind to me, and it feels good when we travel together, or when we share a blanket at the campsite, but he always calls me my Octavia. I've told him over and over that I don't belong to anyone, that I'm my own, that I stay with him by my own free will. He only grins when I say that. I bet he likes to think that I'm his. Never mind, though. I'll sort it out somehow.
Octavia shakes her head, making the troubling thoughts go away.
Oh, when did you meet him?
Years ago, when I was studying magic at Maestro Janush's. Reg was his student too, although you couldn't actually say he was really studying anything. Reg has his own ways to cast spells. He never needed the Maestro's instructions. You see, unlike wizards, Reg draws power directly from his innate bloodline abilities. Janush didn't realize the nature of Reg's powers when he took the young boy as his new student. And when he finally understood them, he just taught the negligent half-orc to control his powers, to avoid harming himself or the others. Reg and I have been together ever since. We could both use magic, but most importantly, we both craved freedom. We used to vow to each other that someday we'd break free from the unbearable captivity, or die trying, together. Octavia gives you a warm smile. I guess it's good that we fulfilled only the first part of that vow.
So you owe him a lot, huh?
Octavia winces.
I don't like this "owe" word. I don't owe anything to anybody. Everything I do of my own free will. But to answer your question, yes, Reg has done a lot for me. I can't count how many times he was whipped by masters because of me, how many times he took the blame for my doings. He never complained when they dragged him, beaten and covered in blood, to the slave barracks. He just groaned and clenched his fists while I bandaged his wounds with the scraps of my filthy clothing.
Ah, those filthy clothing scrap bandages. The best for preventing infection.
We've always been together, my whole life, as slaves and as free people. I wouldn't be me if not for him.
So, he's kind of, impulsive. That doesn't bother you?
That is a very delicate matter.
Octavia winces, looking away.
Reg means a lot to me, and he endured a lot for me, but some parts of him just scare me. He becomes extremely bloodthirsty when it comes to slavers. And don't get me wrong, I hate slavers with all my heart, and I'll do a lot to cleanse the world of their filth. But Reg, he'd do anything. Understand? Absolutely anything. I'm afraid that anger might kill everything good in him. I've attempted to talk to him about it many times, but he just won't listen. He becomes even angrier after our conversations.
Octavia sighs sadly. Well, this sounds like a super healthy relationship. I don't need you any longer. Alright, nice talking to you, Octavia. I'll talk to you more later. Bye.
Sure.
Octavia gives you a friendly smile.
Come anytime.
Alright, we've now talked to everyone. We can now rest. It's sleepy time. The key is to promote the right kind of bacteria to grow in your filthy rag bandages. It's like yogurt or sauerkraut. Bandages with active cultures.
I crave for adventure.
Somebody craves for adventure, apparently. You know, I don't really need to carry a potion of enlarged person around. I've already got 2 enlarged persons I can cast myself. I think I'd rather have an extra healing potion just in case. I need to quaff the fuck out of those in some fight. Dirt is basically a probiotic, or a prebiotic. Rub some dirt on it. That's all you gotta do. Classic healing technique. Alright, we've rested. We've sold our items. We've cleaned up our inventory. We've had the conversation with all of our new companions. And we've bought a bag of holding. We've got a shitload of rations for free. We're ready to head out again.
Time becomes distance.
The fuck does that even mean, Kata? Like, what does that even mean? It's possible to make a mud salve. Huh? Yeah? That's true, Askel. That's true. Let's do a hard save just because we haven't done one in a while. And then let's bounce. While over time of walking you make distance in your travels. Duh. Oh, that's what it means. I get it now. Ragongar, calm down with all your fucking buffs in the companion window. Of course, I guess we all have buffs in our... But, Ragongar, I'm afraid you won't be coming with us on this playthrough, unless there's a specific quest that I have to take you on. I bet heroes are great fighters and great competitive eaters. Takes skill to down potions that fast. They practice with hot dogs and beer. Yeah. Well, the secret is the potions contain milk. So they promote bodily harmony. You will be missed, Reg. I think my character's gonna have to break those two up. Yeah, we're gonna have to destroy that relationship. Alright, let's decide where to go. We have various quests. I don't know if I can see my journal. Oh, I can. Thank you for not locking me out of my journal on the world map. I have 85 days left. That feels like plenty. Gotta go to the old hut. Gotta go to the old sycamore. Gotta go kill Tuskgutter. Gotta find the Temple of the Elk. And here's Tuskgutter again. There's the hut. There's Tuskgutter down there. There's the Pine Patch, which you've never been to. Ancient Tombthorn Fort and Technic are cleared. There's the old Sycamore, which is where Tartuccio is. And there's the Fangberry Cave. Or I can just kind of go off exploring. Let's go to the abandoned hut. Let's go there. Just found another patch of moist basin, a small lowland with unique conditions for growing medicinal plants and herbs. It's a kingdom resource. I love these kingdom resources. You can go around and get stuff for your kingdom. Well, once you have a kingdom. And by kingdom we mean barony. Probably becomes a kingdom. By the end of the game you probably become king, is what I'm guessing. The name, it is called Kingmaker, not Baron Maker. In before not so abandoned hut, right, Nox? Not only he's a cock, blue dragon blood is strictly inferior to red/golden. Can we just forget that he exists? I don't know, blue dragons are pretty fucking cool. Lightning breath and shit. Even though I'm going to the abandoned hut, I'm actually going to go this way first.
I need to catch my breath.
Are you fucking serious? Okay. Oh my god, these people and their fatigue. Y'all motherfuckers get tired too fast. The remains of a small house, accompanied by an old stone altar, are hidden deep in the woods. Local hunters sometimes use the place for shelter and try not to think too hard about who built it and why it was abandoned. Teamwork feats can make your party very powerful. Don't ignore them. I'm going to ignore them.
I need to catch my breath.
You're going to catch your breath later. We already know why she's so tired before everyone else, because she said she gets up early before everyone else to do her makeup. So that's why she's tired. Ooh, Guardian of the Bloom is here. Really? Right here, please, follow me.
Becomes distance.
I'll follow you in a second, but I gotta pick this plant. Get some herbs. Let's give her a piggyback ride. She-Hulk can handle the load. That's true. Uh-oh. Fuck's happening there? Father, please! I looked for the herbs you asked for. There just weren't enough to...
Silence! Did you forget the rules? You speak what I say. You do as I say.
Disobedience... But Father... 3 times. Enough. I can't. Enough. Disobedience leads to punishment, and you have disobeyed twice. Nugra. got hit with the acid splash. Oh, and the Guardian of the Bloom disappeared. The staircase decayed and collapsed long ago.
Step.
Can't be climbed.
How curious.
What did I find? Rotted wooden racks, long ago used for drying herbs. Okay, there's a giant-ass crate here. I don't think it calls for a perception check to notice that there's a giant-ass crate that you can look in. I'm pretty sure we could have seen that crate and looked in there without a perception check. I mean, Jaethal is like, my keen elven senses detect a giant crate. What do your elf eyes see? What is that bizarre shape? What is that rectagonal device right there? Please, tell us what your elf eyes see. It is a crate. Rolls 1. What giant crate? Check passed. Thanks, guidance.
I need to catch my breath.
For the love of Christ. 17 gold, a peridot, and a potion of a large person. Cool.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
I don't know, but it's time for a super fast 2-minute break. Don't go anywhere. Stick around, stay tuned, don't touch that dial. I will be right back in just 2 minutes. Hashtag super fast. Okay, I am mostly back. So can we can make her Hulk out? Is that a euphemism? Does enlarge? Yeah, it does actually make her quite a bit bigger. My special eyes say it isn't just a decoration, but a container with Unity component attached for looting. Exactly, Anonymous. And it enlarges all the gear too. Yeah. A large person and their stuff, it should be called. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna pour myself a drink right now, but I suspect I'm not going to have enough in this bottle. So, yeah, I was right. I'll bring out another mostly empty bottle. Look, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Convenient that it enlarges armor too. It is convenient. Don't end up with the shredded Hulk t-shirt. Right, so the Hulk thing is like this, right? So not only does she have a ludicrous strength on her own. 20 strength starting out. But, okay, so she can also enlarge person herself,
adventure.
raising her strength and making her twice the size and 8 times the weight, and increasing her reach and so forth. Then she can use her own mutagen on herself to give her 4 more strength and 2 natural armor. And then next level, she'll also have Barbarian Rage. So combining all those things is like total fucking Hulk mode. You're going to get this game, but the reviews are tearing it up all over the place. I wouldn't trust those reviews, S. Scheffner. I wouldn't trust them at all. Because this game is really good so far. But weapon doesn't become oversized, if I recall correctly. Literally unplayable. The weapon damage does go up, Anonymous. If that's what you're talking about. The actual damage dice of your weapon go up, as though it were oversized. This game has had 3 updates already, fixing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, Brad, they're releasing updates very quickly. Fixing everything they can. I think this is definitely worth buying if you enjoy this exact style of game. I.e., a Baldur's Gate-like. Or what I would call in longer form, a text-heavy, isometric CRPG. With real-time with pause. Game journalists can't play real games. Characters and situations have a measure of depth to them. I agree. A lot of people were complaining about difficulty. Yeah, well, they already nerfed the difficulty in the hot patch yesterday. They've already nerfed the difficulty in the early stuff. And there's a lot of difficulty options you can choose from. In my opinion, when people complain about difficulty, and I see streamers do this all the time with different games, they'll put the game on the highest difficulty or the second highest difficulty, they'll get their ass kicked, and they'll complain about the game. And I'm like, motherfucker, there's like 3 more difficulties lower than the one you're playing, and you're complaining about it being too hard. Those other difficulties are for you. You're the person those difficulties are for. Pick one of them and shut the fuck up. Like me, I very rarely play games on the hardest difficulty anymore because I don't want to struggle that much. Not anymore. I'm too old for that shit. So, you know, I have Dead Companions Rise After Combat turned on. That's kind of easy mode in a lot of ways, but I don't care. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to deal with constantly having to reload and redo a fight every single time a companion dies, and that's exactly what I would do if I didn't have that turned on. On top of that, they rush through the game and whine when they can't kill. Yeah, they don't do any side content, they don't make their characters stronger, they don't find all the cool items out there and stuff that make your character strong, and then they get their ass kicked. Plus, the other thing that frustrates me is people don't read anything in a game. I'm not just talking about the text of the characters and the conversations. They don't read any of the other information. They don't read tooltips. They don't read the descriptions of what their shit does. And then they never know what their shit does and how to use it, and then they complain that the game is badly designed or too hard because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, even though the game has provided them with text to explain that shit to them. They never bother to read it. And then they just play ignorantly, you know. If I don't understand how something works in a game, I'm going to try to read whatever is in the game to explain it to me. And sometimes I'll even look it up on the internet if the game doesn't explain it well enough. Pathfinder itself is pretty lethal and fast-paced, so if it didn't produce some hard fails, it wouldn't be a very accurate... Yeah, it's based on 3.5 D&D, and I remember well from playing lots of 3.5 D&D that it is very deadly at low levels for the players. It's brutal. I mean, eventually you kind of get overpowered. Yeah, see, the complaints about the swarms, they've actually already fixed that. In that now when you take the quest, the guy tells you, hey, they're swarms. You've got to use AoE fire damage on them or else you'll be fucked. Here, have 6 alchemist fires, and he just gives you 6 alchemist fires. So they've already addressed that particular quest with the swarms by literally handing you the solution. You play some games on normal to get through the game, and 1 to reload a bunch and try to get through tough combat. Yeah, that makes sense. Swarms are easy, just use torches. It's actually 3.75. I think they're using... Well, yeah, it's Pathfinder, which is a very altered version of 3.5, but under the hood, it's still pretty much the chassis of 3.5. Yeah, acid cantrips. I mean, I've got some fire bellies memorized here. We've got some characters with acid flasks and alchemist fire equipped. We're not going to have a problem with the swarms. Because I've got the tools. But yeah, some people
calls me.
They go to that cave early on. They don't have any of the stuff yet because before that patch, the guy didn't used to give you all those alchemist fires, so you might not have any. Still 3.5 core. I wish it was 5th edition. We haven't had any video games of 5th edition yet, have we? Have we? I don't think we have.
I need to catch my breath.
For the love of Christ, Octavia, toughen up.
I'm not afraid.
Oh shit. We got wolves. You know, I don't think I'm gonna struggle too much with these wolves. So, oh, they're ferocious though. I don't think I'm gonna use any special abilities. I'm just gonna let everybody do their thing. Alright, everybody's not doing shit. Oh, I turned off AI. Okay, alright. I forgot. That's my bad.
Unworthy.
Tear them apart!
Die, die, die! Serves you right. Consider me provoked.
Where was my sneak attack damage?
Need to catch my breath.
I thought the way that this works in this game is that if you have an ally adjacent to the target, you get sneak attack against it, even with ranged attacks. And I'm pretty sure that's how I've seen it work in this game before. So I'm not sure why she didn't get sneak attack. But we'll keep an eye on it. Wait, hold on, I missed a bunch of stuff in chat. Sword Coast Legends? Oh yeah, Sword Coast Legends wasn't even remotely 5th edition. Not even remotely. I haven't played any 5e games. Tried to sell it as true 5e rules, then people actually played it. I guess it was pseudo 5th edition, in much the same way that Neverwinter MMO is pseudo 4th edition. Spells and feats combining the talents almost made me puke. Can't even co-op at home with your friend. Online server. You can't even co-op with it anymore? Oh, that sucks, man. Their thing is apparently not doing shit. That's it. We got some wolf meat. Wolf is food. And now we got a skin. Bushes grow in the well, a clear sign that it was abandoned long ago. Quick save before looting anything.
I need to catch my breath.
Nugra's old notes. In early spring, Willow's leaves are the same color as her eyes. His too. I barely hold myself from burning them out with acid. It is his fault. Despicable. Weak. If it was not for him, she would still be alive. Does not talk to me. Looks away. Plans something. I know. I know. I have to gather forest herbs and make a hiding place. Hide my charms. He is a coward, but he can steal and run away. I will punch it out of him. Everything hurts. I can barely walk. How could he? How? He would never bring himself to confront me on his own. He says his name is now Staglord. Oh, this is the Staglord's mom, you guys. Oh, and she was not a good mom either. I mean, she's talking about punching it out of him, burning his eyes out with acid. So now we're starting to understand why the Staglord turned out the way he is. He had a crazy, abusive wizard mom. And that's worse. That's worse than a normal abusive. Nugra is the dad? This isn't the mom? How do you know? I thought when I looked at the names over the people, the dad that tortured the other ghost, I thought the ghost that was getting tortured was Nugra. But I could be wrong. He says his name is now Staglord. He says he will not let me die or let me go. He says I should not be calling him my son, like I ever did. He told me to pack my things. We are leaving soon. He now has his people and his own fortress. I'm hiding the charms in the herb cache. I probably should not. I will not be able to escape. He will not let me. Alright, well that's the Staglord's parent, who was very abusive, apparently. How goes Pathfinder Hulkmaker? Great, Floridon. Great.
What a surprise.
And we found another ancient Rosslandic coin.
Step, step, step.
Brad, what difficulty do you have the enemies on in yours? Because I have normal enemies and normal enemy difficulty. And I don't really understand what the difference between these two is. This makes the enemy stronger. This also makes the enemy stronger. They're both on normal. And I have damage to party set at 1. Which is, the funny thing is, when you pick normal mode, quote unquote, it actually reduces these to below normal. And it makes you take 0.8 damage instead of 1. So in those ways, I'm actually playing on harder than normal. I'm essentially playing on challenging. But I have Dead Companions rise after combat and remove negative effects on rest turned on, which is like I'm playing on easy. So I'm playing on a mix of like challenging and easy, depending on how you look at it. So the enemies themselves are not especially easy to beat, although those wolves were. But all normal. The parent said something about Staglord having her eyes, so it's his dad for sure. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Could you imagine playing unfair mode? Well, I watched Carnage playing on just hard mode, not unfair, and he was getting his ass wrecked. Wrecked. So, hard mode looked really hard. Look, it even says, don't pick this difficulty! Your character's builds must be no less than perfect. Your character will suffer double damage from enemies and traps. Enemies will have significantly increased power and usual chances of inflicting... Oh, and I have enemy crits on normal, too. On normal mode, normally, enemy crits are on weak. So... a mix of challenging and easy. Cheesy? Oh, chimerical Jim. See what you did there. You might try unfair... Well, no, I'm never going to play it on unfair mode, probably. But for my second playthrough, I'll probably try it on hard. Or at least how I have it now, but with enemies turned up to tougher. Uh-oh. Where have you been? I told you to prepare everything for the ritual. Will never give me orders again. Okay, so this is the Staglord and his dad. What? What? Well then, summon your power! Or maybe you'd like to try the acid! I am not your slave any longer! Oh, and they just killed him. Not your toy! Alright. Not your son! Now I'm the Stag Lord! Angry teenager. I won't kill you. Your powers will be of use to me. From now on, you do as I say. You speak when I say. Disobedience leads to punishment. Always, which is what his dad said to him earlier. Okay.
I have been waiting for you. The flowers, birds, and wind told me you would come. Oh, my poor flowers. They will perish before long in this bog.
The Stag Lord. Do you start with a party of 6? No. You have to build up your party over time. By the time the second run starts, what, 4 years or so? The game will be nerfed enough to play on hard. That's probably true. They do give you a lot of customization in the options. I like that a lot, too. The familiar outline of the nymph appears before you. It seems that only you can see or hear the nymph. Green plant lady? Kind of weird.
Ooh, mysterious talk with nobody.
Oh, his dad was a druid. I had a strange vision. I'm not even sure if it was real or not, to be honest. As a young man, an old druid torturing him, and then they switched.
Yes, yes. The soil, water, and stones here are infused with toxic pain and fear. They poison this place as we speak. You have seen where your enemy's journey began. The one called Stag Lord was once the victim of a cruel madman, and has since become one himself. You see now how monsters are born. But what comes of regret for a thing you cannot change? There is no time to be lost. We must do away with the fog quickly.
The nymph lowers her head. So, can you tell me something about yourself? Because if we're going to be allies, I kind of want to know more about you other than the fact that you look like, you know, broccoli.
Do you really wish to know? Fine. I'll tell you a fairy tale. Once upon a time, there lived a young nymph. She lived in an enchanted forest, where 1,000 birds sung day and night, where the sun often left a spark or two hanging in the tree crowns, and where the starlight fell on sleepy glades like a glowing soft haze.
And then somebody came along and wrecked this whole place, right? Is that the story? The nymph's eyes grow cloudy. Brad says sexy broccoli. And Adam says nymphs are fair game for vegans, right? Yeah, we had this discussion earlier. I think the answer is not really.
The young nymph loved simple things, like sitting by the stream with her friends, braiding each other's hair and adorning their braids with crystals made of dew.
Braiding each other's
or
leaves.
Watching the flowers blooming. But inside her soul, the young nymph dreamed of something more.
The nymph's voice is quiet but clear. As you hear it, you seem to sense the aroma of the forest glades, washed with the morning dew, mixing with the odor of spring meadows aflood with blooms. Look, I don't think my sense of smell is that good to fucking discern all that shit in there. I'm just saying. What am I, a super smeller? I'm worried that your team seems to have contracted nymph blindness. That's a sign of poor hygiene. Ah, nymph blindness. I remember in old D&D, back in the day, if you saw a nymph naked, you had to make a save or die. You would literally die from seeing a nymph naked back in, like, 2nd edition and 1st edition days. Those good times. And I think if you saw a nymph at all, even not naked, you would go blind. So nymph blindness was an actual thing. Those are not really your smell sensations at all in your mind, so it can be very specific. Ah, that makes sense, Anonymous.
Oh, dreams. Nothing in any world can live without them. Even a seed that falls in fertile soil cannot sprout without the dream of the sun. The same was true for our nymph. She wished to turn her enchanted forest into a true fairy tale kingdom and fill it with thousands of wonders.
Crazy nymph, got it.
Plans so ambitious rarely go unnoticed by greater powers.
New notes creep into the aroma of the forest and meadow. Now you smell a storm coming. Apparently I'm a meteorologist.
Those greater powers decided to punish the nymph for her boldness. They sent a horrible monster to poison the enchanted forest and kill the singing birds. The nymph was forced to flee, and finally she found shelter here in the stolen lands. Here she hoped to sprout the seeds of a new dream, even as she mourned the dream she'd lost. But then the magic mist appeared, killing everything that lived. And the nymph cast about, desperately searching for help. So far, these are the fairy tale's final words. But I hope this is not the end, just yet.
Look, I don't want you sprouting any seeds of your weird-ass fucking broccoli dream in my fucking kingdom. The nymphs and their seeds. Geesh. Yeah. Look, can you tell me more details about your story? The evil powers, the monster?
One day, perhaps. Perhaps I will tell you more. But it doesn't matter now. We need to concentrate on the problems at our doorstep. The Stag Lord, the Druid, the Mist.
Okay. Well, what do you want me to do now?
Search the area around the hut. Try to find anything that remained of the Druid who lived here. I am sure the fog is his doing. This suffocating veil is as vicious as his nature. We should learn more about the fog and the ritual through which it was created. Return to me if you find anything. The past may hide the answers that shape the future.
Chimerical Jim says, crazy nymph on run, doesn't enjoy fog. Got it. The past may hide the answers that shape the future. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Talk to you later.
I will be waiting.
The nymph whispers.
You come again. Did you find something?
The nymph reaches towards you. Nope. Just, checking in. Bye. I'm gonna leave now.
I will be waiting.
I'm gonna leave now.
Time becomes distance.
Water vapor is unnatural, by the gods. Well, I don't think this is natural fog, though. It's like magical, weird fog. We got some edible moss. Hey! I found one of your cousins here. Do you mind if I...
What's that?
Ooh, Token of the Dryad. Oh, Brad is now playing Pathfinder Kingmaker. So just so you guys know, there's a better Kingmaker stream going on than mine. I won't be offended if you all jump ship. Memento of Times Long Past. Antiquities Collector. Nice. We've got ourselves some jade, which is only worth 7 gold, apparently. We don't value jade in this kingdom. A bone necklace is worth more than a piece of jade. Alright. Silver chain. And a single gold coin. Try not to spend that all in one place. A wooden house, time-worn and apparently deserted.
How curious.
Ooh, ferocious wolf.
Forwards! No, backwards, backwards!
How do I even fight that wolf? It's like inside a thing. The stone altar is decorated with an eroded foliage pattern and symbols of green faith. Green faith sounds
I
dodgy.
need to catch my breath.
I'm coming for you, hiding
Who
wolf.
will prevail? Does it matter?
I'm just gonna have everyone attack.
You
Let's keep
deserved
simple.
it.
All them sneak attacks! See, Octavia got a sneak attack that time. Because the enemy was flat-footed, though, not because of flanking. Oh, you make a nature check every time you do the skinning thing. Alright, that's kind of cool.
State your desire.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
The ground near the chest is covered with culinary herbs. They dried out long ago. Is it really fog? Could it be smoke? Perhaps a colony of hippies are squatting in some foreclosed temple? Possibly. Those rewards seem a bit jaded, says Nox. Make no bones about it, Nox, says Chimerical Jim. Oh, they're off to the races now. That pale elf looks so much like Liv Tyler. Oh, she kinda does, huh? You're not wrong. What? There's nothing in here? I guess I'll collect all. But there is no all. What kind of garbage chest is this? Don't give me a chest to click on if there's nothing in it.
Trail me.
Notice that you can put things inside, though. That's true. Maybe it's like a puzzle. Like you've got to put the right thing inside there to do something. Oh, maybe some culinary herbs, right? Look at this. Nugra's Lost Note. I went to the old temple of the Elk again today. Wicked, gloomy place. Just like my soul. It used to shine once, and it is hollow and horrible now. Did he spy on me? Maybe I should lock him up? No, let him be. What can he do, the useless coward? Just whimper and hide. I guess he's still talking about his son.
You come again. Did you find something?
Yeah, I found these notes. They say something about a temple of the Elk.
An ancient temple. The temple of the stag god. Yes, yes, that must be it. The place of power where the druid created the fog. Perhaps we'll be able to cleanse it from there. The temple hides in the thicket not far from here. You'll need to go there and purge the place of whatever evil still lingers there, summoned by the druid's sinister ritual. Take care. You are my only hope.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. The nymph's blue eyes flare from within her pale face. Pale green face? Dried basil on the floor. Finally some treasure. Can make some pesto now. Pesto finder, pasta maker. That's what it's all about. Yeah, okay. I'll be doing that then. Eventually. Eventually! Don't rush me. We looked into the past of the Stag Lord and his cruel druid father. After talking to her invisible advisor, our leader has made a decision. It's time to move on. The ancient temple of the Elk awaits us, where we shall face the source of that ominous fog. Time for some salad. Look, I'm vaguely uncomfortable with plant people. Like in any game, Any fantasy thing that has plant people, I'm not a fan of
Time
them.
becomes distance.
A small deserted timber shed. We've got a potion of vanish, a topaz ring, and 25 gold coins. These fucking games, man.
Yeah.
These fucking games. You know what I don't do in real life? I don't randomly just take some of my money and leave it places. Like all over the place. In every fucking barrel and crate and everywhere and campsite and everywhere. I don't just leave little bits of my money laying around everywhere. But apparently people in every fantasy world do that shit constantly.
Forwards! No backwards, backwards!
You like the Ents, though? But the romaine lettuce people are odd. I have mason jars all over the place full of shit. It's their pocket change. I guess I do have a thing with change in it sitting in my apartment that I leave there. So, I guess it's equivalent. No ATMs there. But like our characters, we carry our money around everywhere we go. Why wouldn't you carry your money around? If you leave it laying somewhere unguarded, people are just going to come take it. Alright, let's try something. You don't stop at a roughly square
I need to catch my breath.
border around things and look for a very specific spot to leave a place IRL either. That's true, Anonymous. I don't call a week complete without hiding a garnet in a barrel. Let's throw some herbs in there and see what happens. Holy shit, something happened. Oh, wow, we got some Shambletus, a book, and a magical short sword. Yes. All for some herbs. Well worth it. Gold coins are heavy, man. Well, yeah, they probably are. But, like, I don't know. Of Transmutations and Bodily Poisons, Part 1. Let's learn about some alchemy. Alchemy is the triune science of primes, or basic elements, of which all things are composed, forces by which those things are set in motion, and families of all such things which a studious mind can perceive in our world. An art most formidable, it grants its practitioner power over nature, and even over that which beyond nature lies. He who has mastered it fully shall become like the gods. Yet woe be unto he who sets about its study without diligence and zeal, for his days are numbered. The path ahead is perilous and arduous in equal measure, and he who sets his foot upon it heedlessly shall not find wisdom, but only a quick and grisly end. When you think about it as an abstraction, you find something of value that didn't make the cut to have its own icon and sell it later. I guess. When there's so many vendor trash items that you find in the game, though, I don't really think of it as an abstraction. Like, it doesn't need to be an abstraction. They could just put another vendor trash item in there. Because they've already made 100 vendor trash items. But basically, it's for gameplay purposes, not for really world-building purposes, and I understand that, obviously. It's an RPG, you're supposed to find loot all over the place. That's just how it works. It's a convention of the genre. It's just a funny convention of the genre. That's an ominous note for a multi-class alchemist to find. I know, right? To be fair, we don't go around looting people's stuff IRL either. Well, you might not. I mean, yeah, we definitely don't do that.
I need to catch my breath.
Okay, Octavia, just relax, okay? Relax and let's do a forced march to another location.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
I think we've explored this place fully. Where are we going now? I can tell you where we're not going now. We're not going to the next place in the main storyline. We're not going to this Temple of the Elk place. Nope, we're gonna go do some random other shit. Because fuck it, we have 85 days. We're gonna use every one of those 80... No, we're not gonna use every one of them, but we're gonna use a lot of days. Abandoned hut. There's the Temple of the Elk. Tuskgutter's lair. So I guess these goofy clouds on the map must represent the borders of the fog. I'm gonna go here.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Okay, now everybody's tired, except for the undead and the barbarian. So I think we'll rest now. Well, we'll be fine. This game has a time limit. Well, this chapter has a time limit. You have 90 days to complete chapter 1, which I believe is way, way, way longer than you need, so I don't think it's going to be a problem.
When we stop?
Now everybody's tired. So we're going to be fighting fatigued. But I'm not too worried about it because we haven't used any of our stuff yet. Got a +2 sword for killing him under a month. Really? Well, I suspect that's a +2 sword I won't be getting. Because I'm going to go around the map and do everything you can do before I fucking fight the Stag Lord. Because that's how I play these games.
I'm hungry. When do we stop?
Need to catch my breath.
Alright, what are we fighting? Some bandits.
Request. Share your will.
Time becomes distance.
Let's pre-buff since we can, since we're gonna rest soon anyway.
I wrote it like I saw it. I won't let you down.
Speak.
She can't do her special buff. She'll use Divine Favor.
Else we miss all the fun!
See, look, they're enlarged. Look how big they are now.
State
Alright,
your desire.
In we go.
You cannot stand against me.
Bandit Illusionist. Alright, fuck that guy. I'm gonna go this way. Oh, she can't rage. Oh, we can't charge or rage because we're exhausted. Alright, that's fine. I'm going right after this Illusionist.
Die, die, die!
She's doing this. She's gonna pop her +1 AC thing. Harem. Turn on your ass beating stick. And go attack this guy.
Repent!
Magic missile that Illusionist. Let's snowball that Illusionist. Ooh. We just fucking destroyed those guys.
Don't you think?
Does it also increase your melee range? Yeah, it gives you reach. It gives you 10-foot reach. Leather armor, short sword, hide armor, great sword, light crossbow, scroll of corrosive touch. We should probably rest here. I think we're going to.
You have my attention.
Alright, we're gonna camp. Let's quick save before we do that, just in case something goes horrifically
When
wrong.
we stop.
Yes, if you use pole arms, it would increase it even more. You'd have a 15-foot reach, which would be very, very nice. But I'd rather not use a polearm. I like using a greatsword. One thing I don't like, but I understand why they did it, is the weight limit. Yeah, well, they did it because it's in the pen and paper rules, and this is supposed to be a faithful translation of the pen and paper rules. Why the pen and paper rules have weight limits like that is because of simulationism. Because they always has since the beginning of D&D, because it's trying to make it seem more realistic. So, not a big deal. I mean, a lot of DMs just choose to ignore that. Of course, you don't have a DM that you can choose to ignore it in a game like this, but that's what mods are for. It adds a sort of balance, yeah. Alright, we're gonna do the 2 people on hunting. Actually, let's manage. I think we have another party member now. These 2 are cooking, these 2 are hunting. What's she good at? Oh, she's good at camp camouflage because she's super stealth. What's her special thing? An alarm spell, which lasts for 1 gourd shift and rewards of enemies in the area. No. I'm gonna do incompetence, or competence, not incompetence. How's she at cooking? Oh, she's amazing at cooking. But the thing is, nobody else can do camouflage but her. So we'll stick with... Hold on, how is she at hunting? +2 is all. Nobody else can accomplish this except for her. Who's helping with the cooking? Yes. Alright. Natural healing. Let's wait hours and hours. I don't use watches. Watches are for noobs. That's gonna watch that. Wait until you see how that screws me later, I'm sure. Camp camouflage. That's right, Nox.
I am writing a song about Guy Chazer de Lambert. He inspires me.
You sound a bit smitten. I preferred large lovers when my heart still beat for such trysts. Wasn't there a large axe-wielding Kelid that you mentioned? Now he sounds delicious, if you know what I mean.
We've got 6 rations. And we prepared a hearty meal. And we didn't get attacked. So the hearty meal buff lasts for 16 hours and gives me +1 to all saves.
Shall we move? We shall move!
I'm not getting the buff from my pet.
What troubles you?
Ready and willing.
That went well. Yeah. Make sure you fill all available governing positions with appropriate candidates. You can't develop your kingdom without capable advisors. Well, I don't even have a kingdom yet. Random encounter.
State your desire.
Warg? Ooh, that sounds dangerous. Alright, well let's just quick save and see how it goes.
Blood for Gorum!
2 wargs.
Repent!
This body hopes can't be over.
Dude, she got one-shotted.
Serves you right.
Okay, the wargs died easily, but they hit hard. Well, Jathal.
Speak.
She's still
Done
got
with waiting.
You
oh,
have
she's up
my
to 2 hit
attention.
points. Keep healing yourself for 1. It's all the hit points you get.
Let's shake a leg!
We failed to skin the works. Okay.
Time becomes distance.
Achievement progress, survivor, 4 out of 100. Oh, we found the old oak. A great old tree dominates this area, rising from the remains of the waterlogged pine forest. We're going to the old oak, boys. If time becomes distance, then speed is always 1. Deep Thoughts by Chimerical Jim. You can't sleep in medium or heavy armor. That makes attacks on your camp extra dangerous. Oh, yeah, so if you get woken up in the night, you're fucking not wearing your armor. That's awesome.
Time becomes distance.
Okay. Yeah, we're not fighting that. We are not fighting that at level 2. Well, we'll try. I mean, we do have the magic of a save game.
You
Do
cannot
not,
stand against
motherfucker! Okay. Protection. Less. Song. Enlarge her. Enlarge yourself.
This body holds no more.
She's already getting destroyed. Ooh, nice hit. She's singing. Alright, start dropping some sneak attacks on this fool. Actually, summon the death pony.
This can't be over.
I'm enlarged. She's actually down already.
I'll survive.
Yes, the death pony is tanking. Oh god. She's already down. Let's go for it. The troll is barely touched. Yeah, we're not fighting this thing right now. Let's get some acid splash on this troll.
Die, die, die!
Good hit. The troll's at like half health though. Fuck healing Amiri. Heal me instead. Heal me. Keep going with acid splash.
I wonder what lies beyond.
Fuck.
Protect me.
My character's
Please.
down. She's up! Get the troll!
Let the attack commence!
Jthal can't do anything. She can't do anything. Keep the heals rolling on me. Lindsay! Get over there. Get out of there. Ooh, I got crit for 31. Kata dies. I'm at negative 27! Well, there's nobody left to actually fight this thing. So that's game over. Yeah, we're gonna come back and fight this. Run away while it eats the death pony's corpse. We're gonna come back and fight this thing when we're higher level.
Repent!
Because there's nobody left to actually fight it.
Lost.
God, he just basically one-shots everybody that... Alright, can we go to kite mode? No, we cannot go to kite mode.
I die free.
He got that reach, too. He got that reach, because he's a large creature. Welp! That's our first battle with a troll. Went very poorly. Is there friendly fire? Yeah, for spells that have friendly fire, yeah. That's why Jthal, I never have her use her, she's got a damage living thing that she can do in an AoE, but it would hurt us too, not just the enemies. And like if she had Fireball or something and she threw it in there, it would hurt us, not just the enemies too. Well, we're not fighting that troll now. That much I can tell you.
Time becomes distance.
Man-Eater Troll Intimidate check succeeded. It didn't really need to make a check to intimidate us, I can tell you right now. We were pretty fucking intimidated. Gotta leave that bad boy alone.
Step.
Here's what I wish. I wish you could make your own notes in the journal. That's always a nice feature when they have it. Because I want to take notes of all the things that I skip because they're too hard. So I can come back and do them later. But now I'm going to have to Alt-Tab out of my game to make a note in Notepad. Troll in Old Oak. I'll be back for you, Troll. I've made a note of it. I'll be back for you.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Do not aggro the troll.
Trail me.
We found a box. You know, this fog is really weird. The way it just fogs off all these strange square areas. Gold coins, enlarged person scroll, golden trinket, mage armor potion, protection from chaos. Okay. Good stuff. I'll take it. So there's the titular old oak. The eponymous old oak, one might say.
Step, step, step.
We're gonna leave that troll alone. Alright. We're done here for now. Man, still level 2. Been level 2 for a very long time. Death Pony shall return. Okay, really? How the fuck do I leave this map? Only from that corner. Alright. Wait till I get a flaming sword or something, and more hit points, and better armor class. I don't need that. Wait, unidentified? Wait a second, we never found this. Are you telling me I can loot that corpse over there without ever having approached it? 'Cause that's a great feature. We got a +1 light crossbow. Great. That's perfect for her. We got the loot from the troll corpse without actually fighting the troll. Probably not what the developers intended. Alright. Wait. I can only go one way from here.
I need to catch my breath.
Already? You know what? Let's go kill some swarms. Let's go kill those swarms that everybody's talking about. Like all drafts, the first world is chaotic, full of odd curiosities and illogical regularities that would be impossible on other planes. I think the first world is like Pathfinder's equivalent of the Feywild from D&D. Pretty sure it is.
Carve my name into your flesh!
Bandit Conjurer. Alright, we're gonna rest after this. Let's fucking go to town. Embiggen yourself. Protect yourself. Rage out. Bless us, everyone. Sing the song. Actually, fucking large person. Start writing with some snowballs on this asshole.
I need to catch my breath.
I'm enlarged. I'm gonna do this now. She's enraged. She's gonna go charge that fucker. I'm in full beast mode. I'm gonna help out on the home front here against this bandit.
Die, die, die!
She is hanging back here. She's singing her song. She's gonna shoot at this guy.
Serves you right.
She's gonna drop snowballs on a fool. Jathal, she's got her protection up. She's going to heal herself. Harem, come in here and put a pounding on this guy. Okay, Angry Lady of Angriness. Amiri, charge. Angry Lady, can't charge, need to get into position first. Are you being serious? Jathal, just move up and do your thing.
Unworthy.
Your life ebbs low.
You deserved it. I'm letting you out of our story.
I need to catch my breath.
A little more buffing than was necessary for the easiness of that fight, but I figured we're gonna rest soon and get our shit back, so might as well use it. Composite longbows are valuable. Because now we've got... Well, she's only fatigued because she raged. She's actually fatigued. Maybe we won't rest quite yet. We'll travel a little bit further and then rest. Press space to skip dialogue or banter when the party makes camp. Never! I would never skip the banter. Blasphemy. The miniature fell over.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
say about the Fangberry Cave? The origin of this giant burrow remains a mystery to the locals. It was named for the plant known as fangberry that grows in the area. I'm not really concerned about these swarms. I think we can fight them while exhausted. I mean, it's really just going to be a matter of throwing some alchemical fires and fire bellies on them. How hard could it be? Hey, Demitos, how you doing?
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Dexterity's never had any effect on people's ability to throw stuff, so you should be good. Yeah. Exactly.
Time becomes distance.
This is a mini map.
Step, step, step.
Enemy swarms. See this here? They added this too in the patch to let you know about how swarms work. Where originally there wasn't this pop-up, so people didn't have any concept of how swarms worked. Can't be defeated with simple weapons. They're vulnerable to acid flasks and alchemist fires, spells with area of effect, or spells that require an attack roll like acid splash. You can also try to use torches as a last resort. Started your 5th new character on Pathfinder. You're starting to really grow familiar with the first act. What are you playing this time, Deminos? Yeah, what are all the characters that you've tried and apparently didn't like?
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
And what do you got? What have you settled on this time? Young deer. We're not going to kill them. I still remember that time I attacked a stag on Path of the Damned in the early part of Pillars of Eternity, and it wiped my whole party. I don't know if anybody watched that playthrough. Or watched that stream. That was during my 50-hour stream. Wiped by a stag. Going for a Magus Monk Rogue hybrid with focus on Sword Saint. That does sound like a complex build, but possibly very cool. Monitor lizards.
Shall we move? We shall move!
State your desire.
Here!
Grotus awaits us.
I wrote it like I saw it.
Here I am. See?
Die, die, die!
Can you make a awkward pose? I need inspiration.
Yeah!
Unworthy.
You think that hurt?
Did she did get a sneak attack. She got a sneak attack, but it's not really telling me why. Okay, so it works how I thought it works. If you have an ally next to the target, you get sneak attack, even with ranged. Ooh, we get some lizard meat. Ooh, and some lizard scales. That is the sneaky part. I've also tried to make an Aldori Defender / Saint Sword mix, though I don't think it was that well executed, so I wanted to build on the whole Sword Saint idea. Sounds really cool. My planned character for my second playthrough is going to be a Monk Paladin. There's a type of monk, there's an archetype of monk in this game that uses charisma instead of wisdom for all of its monk shit. And I thought combined with a paladin it would be really fucking cool.
Trail me.
Because Paladin uses Charisma for all its cool shit. We'll camp before we go in the cave. Actually, no, I don't think we will camp before we go in the cave. I think we'll just open up a can of man.
Step.
Or a can of woman, as the case may be. Lizard cruelty. It's been so long since I could dive into a CRPG game like this. I wish they could make some sort of character building tool where you could make different characters and try out different builds. Camp in the cave. Safe, cozy, and dry. The safest of caves. Oh shit, we're at medium encumbrance? No wonder people are getting fatigued. Oh, because we're carrying around all those damn rations. That's 100 pounds of rations. We need to eat some of those, for real. +1 short sword. I don't even know where we got that. Who would even use a +1 short sword? I guess Jathal could use it. She doesn't have to use a long sword. Oh, she's already got a +1 longsword, though. I don't think he can use a short sword. She could use it as her alt weapon, not that she ever... Or she can use it as her alt weapon. Not that either of these two want to use fucking melee under any circumstances, really. Where's the vampire gnome? Oh, he's gone.
Strength fades.
He's our enemy. We're tracking him down so we can kill him. So much rations. Did Oleg reward you with a year's supply of cheese or something? Basically. I'm just imagining our rations are just a bunch of huge jugs of milk. Here we go. We're about to get our shit pushed in. Alright, let's, Oh, I see you, giant spider. I fucking see you.
Just letting the ink dry.
Let's shake a leg.
Let's
You
get some
can
pets
count
out.
on me.
Share your will.
And then our leader charged forwards.
Oh,
Hey,
fuck
wait
my
for
life.
me!
Alright, Jathal. Just attack this giant
Wretched
spider.
things.
Just attack this giant spider. Just attack this
Let the
giant
attack
spider.
commence.
Fire belly time. Sing the song. Let's start out with a little something I like to call acid splash. Alright, so the big spider's toast. I don't have anything to really use against the swarm. Damage living! No, she doesn't really have anything to use against the swarm. Oh, yes she does. She does, actually. Alright, hold on. I think there's an option turned on that needs to be turned the fuck off. I wonder where it is. Under controls? AoE spell snap to nearest target. No, it's turned off. Whatever, just throw it. Well, that's working super well. Alright, he's got Fire Belly on. So that means he should be able to... I don't know. Use his Fire Belly attack somehow? Yeah. Now that'll have friendly fire. I need you to get out of there. I need you to get out of there. Well, shit. Ooh, another spider. Hey, that's somebody that they can actually fight. Go get him!
May I see your entrails, please?
Go get him!
Go down!
Alright, these fucking swarms, bro. I really want to use this Fire Belly cone on the swarms without hitting too much of our own people. Well, whatever. We're gonna hit our people. It's fine. He just burning jugged those fucking things. Is everything dead? Oh no! The terrible swarms that are unbeatable! Okay, I'm just saying. It's ones you don't see that you have to worry about. Set on fire beats covered in angry spiders every day of the week. You're right, Jim. You're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I love the fact that he can just breathe fire randomly as much as he wants. Oh shit! Sorry, Amiri. Sorry. My bad. Doesn't do much damage, though. Now fix what you broke.
Request.
So we killed the spiders. She needs a new alchemist fire on her belt. Actually, I want her to have an acid flask. She needs an acid flask and an alchemist fire on her belt. She needs an alchemist fire on her belt.
Ready and willing.
Look at her little cool glowing lantern thing. Doesn't put out a ton of light, but it's kind of cool.
Time becomes distance.
Potion of mage armor, a silver ring, and 23 gold coins. So grab those fang berries.
Won't work.
Okay, let's not fuck up. How does that sound?
Forget it.
Alright, dubious guidance, always ready to bestow. Here we go. Thanks, guy. Hashtag thanks, guidance. No, not you.
I don't feel up to it.
God damn it.
I'm listening. Ugh, won't work.
She just took damage from failing that. Hashtag thanks, guidance.
What you want? That was easy.
Got him. Got him. Thanks to the guidance. Actually, the guidance didn't really help that time. Alright, well, listen, I would never in a million fucking years camp in this cave now. In a million fucking years. If it was pouring down rain outside, I would go outside and camp in the rain before I would camp in this cave. You know what I'm saying? If you've already been attacked by giant spiders and swarms of spiders in this cave, then who knows how many more are just waiting to come out of the walls or the ceiling or some shit. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Forwards. No, backwards. Backwards.
Would never camp in this cave. Curl up in some nice soft cobwebs. I won't even camp right outside this cave. We're gonna go, like, all the way over here. What did I hear? Oh, the deer. We'll camp by the deer.
Step, step.
The nice deer won't hurt us.
More strength fades.
Try more. Alright, I think we're still on the same tasks as before. Free silk bed for your battle-weary head. Yeah. That's... oh god. The thought of sleeping in a fucking spider cave. Nope!
I'm not afraid.
Oh no, you were attacked while hunting! Oh god, spiders! I think it's just a spider.
Burn! Slice! Behead!
Hey, that's 22 XP. You know what I'm saying? You guys can come one at a time and attack our camp all you want.
Svetlana and Oleg are a fine couple, though sometimes I feel he mistakes her for a child.
You're right. And men like him are more common than you think.
It's true. It's not a lie. We got 6 rations. God damn it, no! I need to eat some rations! How many fucking rations do we own now? There should be an extra camp roll for compulsively checking everything for spiders, right? Right, Jim? Why am I hunting? I have so... ah! Well, we used some up, but I still have 10 now. Next time I rest, I need to just literally not hunt. Fangberries. Small red berries resembling a raspberry. Just curious. Yeah, you can't, like, lock items so they don't get sold. Alright, I think there's only one... there's 2 ways off the map. We are rested. How much time we got left? 80 days. Man, we've already used up 10 days. Well, since our road led us back to Oleg's anyway, let's go back to Oleg's. We'll sell some stuff. You can use ranged sneak attacks on flanked enemies. And again, they're using the term flanked very liberally in this game. Flanked meaning one dude is standing next to the person. Which is great. It makes it so that we can get sneak attacks very easily, which is good since 5 out of my 6 party members are going to be sneak attacking. And I'll probably pick up the precise strike feat for Jathal too, so really 6 people will probably be sneak attacking, or the equivalent thereof. Not so great against undead. I think in Pathfinder you still can't sneak attack undead. And like constructs and stuff. You might be able to sneak attack undead in Pathfinder, but I think you can't sneak attack constructs, or like oozes. Anything weird going on back here in town? I know about Jod, thanks. You want some potions?
About those tasks of yours.
Yes.
What was it you wanted me to do again?
Yeah, we've heard this before.
Are these the berries you were looking for?
Bakken impatiently grabs the basket from you, but his face falls after he examines the berries. What? Damn it all! These are the right berries, but they've soured. Would you be so kind as to gather some fresh ones for an old man? I'm still willing to repay you with those 3 potions I mentioned before. Motherfucker. Moon radishes for Bakken. Bangberry for Bakken. Okay. Oh, fucking K. Go get more berries, huh? Alright. Let's say that I offer... Oh, see? It does the silver ring, the inkwell, the purse, the monitor lizard scales, the jade, the... Yeah, this is all stuff that I want to sell. And I also want to sell these composite longbows. And I also want to sell this shambletus and this onion and these nuts. And I also want to sell this heavy crossbow. And I also want to sell this tenderloin. And I want to sell this alchemy book. And I want to... No, I don't want to sell that. And I want to sell this edible moss. And... I want to sell this rapier. And... I guess that's it. Okay. 1,280 gold. Why sell food? Because it's just for cooking, and I'm not planning to do any cooking beyond the basic recipe that you can already do. And it's worth a decent amount of money, actually. The fuck is that crazy sound? I don't think I need to talk to any of these people about anything.
How
now.
may I serve you?
You may not. We don't even need to rest, right? Because we just rested. Pathfinding of the AI. It's so dumb it's retarded, and the fact that the hitbox for the characters is so fucking big it's impossible to properly position your guys. Really?
Time becomes distance.
Well, that does sound bad. We just rested, so... I don't need to rest. Apparently, we gotta go get more fucking berries. What a motherfucker. What's up, Cuphelia Live? How you doing? Onwards to glory and non-sour forest fruits. I guess it's because we picked the berries and then we rested before we traveled back. We gotta pick the berries and not rest. I wonder if there's gonna be more spider fangs. Spider fangs? Spider swarms. Bangberry cave. Woot woot. I feel concerned that they feel the need to tell me so much about killing liches on the loading screens. Like, how many liches are we gonna be fighting? I'm level 2, and you've told me about killing a lich like 4 times on the loading screen already. It's a beautiful game. I wonder if there's going to be more spiders. I kind of hope not, because these alchemy things are like, you know, a non-reusable resource. Okay, the cave looks like it's clear. Here we go with thanks guidance.
The end draws near.
Well, that was easy.
Got it. Let's go back. Lich, vampire, gnome, same thing. You're not really trying if you haven't polished off a demi-lich by level 4 at the latest? I don't know what kind of games you've been playing in, Miracle Jim. But that has not been my experience.
Time becomes distance.
Cleared caves all day, and now on my way to Bandit's Leader, but that will be tomorrow. Oh, cool. You're almost ready to go fight the Stag Lord? Good luck. So you enjoying the game? You feeling alive? I'm enjoying it. Or is it just supposed to be Ophelia alive and we're ignoring the fact that it's a Q? Immediately back to Oleg so we don't have to worry about spoiling the berries. Fucking Bakken. Spoiling the berries. Usually Elder Dragon basically means more dangerous dragon. Yeah. I think they did. I think they did. Oh. Okay, game. Oh, yeah. I think so, too. We pick only the freshest fang berries to bring you the great taste of angry spider swarms. Bakken summer fruits, the taste of caves. After a quick glance at the basket, Bakken grabs a fistful of berries and shoves them into his mouth. A smile of delight brightens his face. Ah, fang berries, so fresh! You've been good to an old man. Thank you! Here, take these potions. If you need more, feel free to return. I'll even give you a discount. 2 cure lights and a lesser restoration potion. Well, that's always nice to get. What do you use these fangberries for? Truth be told, as I've gotten older, I've gotten kind of particular. My appetite is almost gone. Everything I eat is practically tasteless to me now. I can barely force myself to swallow a bite. Only thing I can still taste is fangberries, so I add them to my porridge or to roasted meat. I even add them to my potions. When I ran out of fangberries, I stopped eating entirely. Svetlana tried to help me, the dear. She baked pies for me, cooked me fish soup and stewed venison, but I just couldn't eat any of it. I was desperate. Those damn spiders had sucked the last bit of joy out of my life. If not for you, I'd pretty much have starved to death, miserable to the end. Well, glad I could save your life then. We can cross this task off our list. Somehow, still haven't fucking leveled up. Oh my god. I've been level 2 for like 20 hours. I'm gonna sell that meat. See? 30 gold for that meat. Yeah, I returned the wedding ring to her. I guess we'll rest because we've been traveling back and forth to the cave, so probably if I don't rest right now, we're gonna get fatigued as soon as I set fucking foot out of this place. Did you kill the bandits? Yeah, I killed the bandits, Demitos. I killed him. I even killed Svetlana's sister. I mean, I was gonna spare her if I would have had the chance, like after the fight, but the fight kind of just happened and then...
Time becomes distance.
You know how it be. I might actually store some fucking rations. No. Is there such a thing as splitting a stack? Okay. It's time to play How Do You Split a Stack? Figured it out. It's shift drag, in case you guys are wondering. It's shift drag. Oh, Domino's just said shift drag to split. She makes the Stag Lord's fight super easy, though. They should nerf her IMO. You don't want to get a reputation for being soft on bandits if you're thinking about getting into politics. It's a good point, Chimerical Jim. It's a good point. I'm gonna put 4 of these rations in my fucking box here. That'll save us 40 pounds. These things don't weigh anything, right? Actually, they do weigh a tiny, tiny bit, but not enough to really matter. That is a really lightweight rope, by the way. Okay. Svetlana, you got anything new to talk to me about? No. Is there reputation in this? Not that I know of. I'm not sure.
Step, step, step.
I don't remember seeing anything about reputation specifically. Why am I walking so slow? It's definitely not because I'm encumbered. Oh, that's right. I think your characters walk slower when it's raining. I think I remember seeing that on somebody else's stream. Which is a little bit weird, but I guess it's fine. Someday I will be level 3. Someday. What do you mean trophies left it? No, but those are in the stash. No, I don't want those. Now. Hopefully they'll still be here when I come back the next time. If not, no great loss. That's only 20 gold worth of rations. Locked. Oh yeah, you can't get rid of your main character. What class are you going to take? 3? Barbarian. To complete my Hulk out rage mode. That way I can combine Enlarged Person and Mutagen and Barbarian Rage into crazy Berserker mode. After that, it's going to be another level of Alchemist, then another level of Fighter, another level of Barbarian, and then everything after that will be Alchemist. So at the end, I'll be 2 Fighter, 2 Barbarian, 16 Alchemist. They'll be available from different storage chests, too. Oh, well that's actually pretty nice, Demitos. It's good to hear. Alright, we ain't going back to that fucking cave, I can tell you that right now. Is this another way we could go over here? Let's go find out. 5 hours.
I need to catch my breath.
Are you fucking serious? We literally just rested, and we traveled for 5 hours. For 5 hours! And she's tired? Dude, her... Oh. Oh. Her con is 8. Okay, it's all starting to come into clear picture now. Her con is 8. Well, whatever. I don't care if she's tired. Honestly, her being tired is not that big of a deal because... Well, she loses dexterity, which isn't great, but... Loading message about getting your soul stolen by demons. They sure are making you feel comfortable.
Resting
Two
would be
Rivers
nice,
Field.
don't you think?
But now she's tired too? The fuck? I feel this game is a little bit oppressive with the amount of fatigue they give you. You can barely travel anywhere without characters getting tired. Sleepy elf lady needs to be replaced with totally respectable orc gentleman.
Making a good pose. I need inspiration. Don't you think?
Alright, let's just fucking murder these people.
Die, die, die!
Unworthy.
Tear them apart!
Repent!
Serves you right.
Telekinetic fist!
This is all blood mine.
Whoa, what's
Never
happening
thought
to
I had
us?
that much.
Oh, there's more bandits here than I thought. And they got sneak attacks too. We are apparently not the only people with sneak attacks, just so you guys know. Oh, did she kill one with a cleave? No, we just haven't even killed that one yet.
Let the attack commence!
How's that conjurer doing back there? Not great, I guess. Alright, this fight's a little harder than I was thinking. Maybe we'll sing a song. Telekinetic Fist is still being cast. You can go ahead and drop a heal on her. Let's keep working this guy.
May I see your entrails, please?
Wretched things.
After the song, come and heal me. Okay, that guy's down. Can I charge this dude? She's just down.
All I see is blackness. Did you like that? What? You
Ooh,
did
I
it?
just ran up and 36-pieced that guy in the face. Of course, I'm about to drop. It'll be fine. Dwarf. Bard. You. We've still never managed to actually cast a telekinetic fist on anyone.
I wonder what lies behind.
I just got dropped. And I got healed. These bandits are a lot tougher than I was thinking. Let's keep the heals rolling. She's out of heals. In that case, just shoot this.
You
fucker.
deserved it. Consider me provoked.
Worse, and will be. Definitely
Resting
will
would
be.
nice, don't you think?
Ouch. And he seems to help with fatigue. I think lesser restoration cures it. It probably does. Probably does. It eliminates fatigue, yeah. Now I want to find out, if I pop off this, am I going to hurt her? She got 2 hit points. No, it didn't hurt her. Oh, because this only affects living creatures. Now, if I did damage undead, it would definitely hurt her. I like how we're literally out of heals after one fucking fight against some rando bandits.
Share your will.
We got, ooh, an Inflict Light Wound Scroll. That's nice. And these valuable ass composite longbows. And this guy had some daggers. And this guy had a regular greatsword. Okay.
Time becomes distance.
Well.
What you want?
Somehow her power attack is off. Your own fault, really. You only brought half your team as healers. Well, yeah. We have... She's a very bad healer because she only has 1 level of Bard.
Patience.
He's, I guess, a proper healer. 2 levels of Cleric, but...
State your desire.
She's also can heal. I guess she does have 2 Cure Light Wounds memorized, so she can also heal the living as well as herself. Because she can convert these into inflicts to heal herself, or she can use them as cures to heal someone else. So, we do have 3 party members that can cast Cure Light Wounds. Technically, my character can also cast Cure Light Wounds, but I have to memorize that instead of an Enlarge, and I'm not going to do that at this point. So really, 4 out of 6 people can cast Cure Light Wounds.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
No, not yet. We're not resting yet. Don't be lazy. Yeah, she's Rogue Bard. Two Rivers Field, a quiet and unremarkable area not far from the confluence point of the Crooked River and the Shrike River. No major roads cross the area and travelers are rare. I would like to enter this location. Both Lindsay and Octavia are going to be arcane tricksters. And both of them are going to focus more on rogue levels than on caster levels. In fact, They're both only going to take 3 levels of their caster class, just enough to qualify for Arcane Trickster. All their other levels are going to be Rogue on both of them, except for their, and they're going to have 10 levels of Arcane Trickster, of course, which will give them 10 more caster levels, as well as more sneak attack. An unremarkable area, let's investigate it. Hey, it's remarkable, okay? It's bounded by one of those strange squares of fog, or maybe in this case a rectangle of fog. What's so great for Arcane Trickster? You continue to progress in sneak attack as if you were a rogue, and you continue to progress in spells as if you were a spellcaster. So it's a nice prestige class. Unremarkable, says Nox. A polygonal fog. I think this is a good time to take a break. I'm going to do a hard save since I haven't done one in a while. And you never know
Need to catch my breath.
when you need to go back 2 hours in your gameplay. Oops. I think we're going to take a little break here. If you're watching on YouTube, that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Pathfinder Kingmaker.